I'm not religious, but and his whole head is looking at me through that gate, and I turned back around. And I was like, "Get your up, huh?" I was like, "Get up now. I don't care if you're knocked out. Get up right now." God. And then he puts the X-ray up there, and he said, "You see this right here?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "That's not supposed to be there." I was like, "Well, what is it?" He said, "It's a chunk of bone." And I said, "Man, he's my son's. I can't sell him." And he said, "Well, call your son." I called Jagger. I said, "You want to sell Teddy Risky?" "No." I said, "Sorry." Well, that's what they told me. They said I was a millimeter away from being paraplegic.
Paraplegic.
Don, can you hear me? Yeah. Just roll with it. We'll be good. It'll be good.
I ain't got much to say anyway.
38 head of coming 2-year-old fighting bulls.
I mean, they're too big to. I mean, you have to make 2 loads, huh?
What?
To bring them back.
Oh no, those are fighting bull calves. They're little.
Oh, they're how old are they?
Coming twos.
Coming twos.
I bet I get a 38 head on that 53 foot.
Really?
Ground load. Oh yeah. If you straight load them.
One trip. Yeah, I mean, I'm willing to be a part of that.
If you straight load them, because I figured you kick them out, all you got to do is feed them and doctor them once a year. Keep them out there for a year and a half, and then flip them, sell them for $3,000.
If they're coming too, that means then they're gonna probably be all right and not want to get sick.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they'll be straight.
Yeah, they're already old enough. They shouldn't.
They should be straight. What we need to do is talk to old Total Feeds and say, "Hey, we got this deal here."
Yeah, we got this deal. We need your money.
Or your feed. One of the two.
Yeah, a lot of it. You see the new feed bin out there?
Yeah, I did. In the old Bucktown is kind of
stepping up.
It's expanding.
If you need a grain bin, where are they out of? They're East Texas over there, aren't they, somewhere? Somewhere East Texas. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I messaged him. I said, "How much is a 10-ton overhead?" And he said, I can't remember what he said. He said, "We can deliver it also and stand it up." He said, "Just tell me where you live." And I told him Stephenville. He messaged me back. 10-ton with the bucket chute on the side in case you want to fill a bucket up. Overhead. Painted white. Delivered. Stood up. $8,500.
That don't sound bad.
No, he said, "Yeah, $8,500." I was like, "Yeah, I'm in. Bring it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, you got wheeling dealing going on. Now you got the so you got the troughs coming in.
Well, I gotta call that guy today.
Yeah, the concrete troughs.
Trying to make it easier on Gennaro. I hate working him to the bone. Poor feller just feeds all day.
Well, you've had to ask him enough questions. I feel like we should almost just get the man a mic and put.
I can't remember.
How long you been working here, Gennaro? 3 months. How you like it? Is he going to ride bulls?
Nope, don't want to.
Don't want to.
We have put him on. He does some sheep breaking now. My legs aren't in the shape to do that sheep breaking anymore. So,
Gennaro.
And Kai, his legs aren't either because he breaks all the time now. So
yeah,
Gennaro, you're up. He's like, okay.
Yeah.
And them old shoot fighters, we have come to figure out not to put a bull rope on them and try to pull it and tie it off. We like to use a ratchet strap now.
Okay.
So it doesn't slip. You don't have to tie it. You just ratchet it in there. You can suck it in there and get on, Gennaro. Grab your handle.
Well, hold on. Let's talk about this. Maybe we should just put a ratchet strap on the bull rope.
Could.
Might be
that
awesome.
would probably be something illegal about it with that big strap, the ratchet.
But we could let them. They could go on the Beaches of Winnebago / Bucktown circuit.
Yeah,
we could allow it.
Oh yeah, we can allow anything.
We could allow it at those 2 pins. What are you going to do if you do get a hold of some horses? Just send them to my house?
Probably.
I got some big traps now.
Probably. Because them UBBIs, you can buck those futurity colts and stuff in them.
We had our first practice yesterday in my arena, and every horse bucked better.
Bigger.
Because it was bigger. everyone. Jacob's got on a couple. That 3C66 had an outstanding trip. Like during the ride, I went to pick him up, and he said, that felt amazing. Does Kai do that? Does he say stuff like that whenever he's...
She was like, oh, my ankle's sore. That's what he said the other day. He was limping. I was like, what's wrong with you now? Knee? No, my ankle. I was like, quit being a puss.
No, my ankle.
He flew out yesterday? Yeah, last night to go to Manchester.
Oh, yeah.
New Hampshire.
Is he on tour? Is that what this is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is first event?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. What about the teams? Are you going to get him on your team?
Well, no.
No? Why not?
Because Colby's team sucks so bad, they get the first pick in the draft.
Oh.
Colby already said he's taking him.
Dang.
And then he said he wanted to do some trading. I said, I'm listening. He said, I'll trade you Kai for Eduardo. I said, absolutely not. And he said, why? I said, man, when you're trying to build a team, that's like building a table. If I give you Eduardo for Kai, that's just swapping one leg for the other.
Yeah.
That's swapping one badass bull rider for another badass bull rider. It makes no sense. Like you're not getting anywhere.
Right.
I said, I'm trying to build a team, not keep the same thing.
Yeah.
But I told Kai, I said, well, way it goes, just don't sign nothing with them. You ride, first year with them, then you go back into you go into a
free agency.
Yeah, free
thing.
agent.
So he would have to ride for him for a year.
Yeah. I said, I'd just ride for him for a year and suck really bad.
Throw the game.
Yeah.
How has it been as a coach? Like you thought it would be?
I held back a lot more than I should have, probably.
What do you mean?
Well, like telling them when they were being a little bit weak-hearted.
Yeah.
In nice terms.
I thought you did kind of harp on them.
I did at the finals.
Gotcha.
Like I really kind of stayed out of their way for a while, and I got to where I was letting them pick what bulls they got on, because Brandon asked me, he's like, what do you hate the most about coaching? I said, picking who gets on what bulls, because I never liked it. I always liked a random draw, and if I had to pick, I just picked a buck and a son of a gun. That was the way it made it easy.
Yeah.
But trying to match them guys up, and I've never been one to watch videos of bulls when I was riding this, and now here I see myself sitting in front of the computer watching videos trying to match guys up with them. And I said, that part, I don't like it. And they said, well, let's just do away with it. When we do the draw, when we get it, we'll just put it on the group message. And since Eduardo was riding so good, he always got first pick.
Yeah.
And then they would pick who got on what. And they fell off 5 in a row at one deal. And I said, nope, that's over with. I told Brandon, I said, nope, I'm going back to who's getting on what bull.
Dang.
I said, they lost that opportunity. But and then, like, I'd send a group text out when we was bucking practice bulls or whatever. And, a lot of them wouldn't come. Some would, some wouldn't. They were all a couple of them didn't want to come over here and get on bulls. And I told Brandon after the finals when there was a couple of them that were really mad on the team, and Eduardo felt bad because he got bucked off. And he had the translator tell me that he felt so bad and he was sorry. And I said, don't you be sorry. I said, you carried this team all year. I said, why don't you look around this locker room and blame all the rest of these supposed to have your back.
Yeah.
And but I told Brandon, I said, one of two things are going to happen this year. He said, what? I said, we're going to win everything, or they're going to hate my guts. And I said, when I send out a group text saying we're bucking practice bulls, that is not a suggestion. It's a requirement.
Yeah. Because that's the one thing you do like to do.
Yeah. See my face better now?
Yeah. Because that's like your one
How do
deal.
I look, Don?
Don't you want to move that Sony that way just a little.
Just a little.
You do. I mean, you are a practice bull guy.
Yeah, and like I realize, and that's what I told somebody. I said I realize that not everyone's like me.
Yeah.
You know, I got on bulls every day I could, and I realized some people. Stetson, Kai's more like me. When Kai first started coming up here, he wanted to get on all the time, every day, 2, 3, 4 bulls a day.
Yeah.
Every day. You know, and he would be, when I'd pull in here at the barns, he would be outside. Can we buck bulls today? The answer is always yes.
Yeah.
And Stetson never got on a bull here.
Right.
And I mean, it's just what works, you know. I'm not saying you have to get on practice bulls, but if you're not riding and winning, so that's the thing. Like Stetson rides and wins.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to tell him, man, you need to get on more practice bulls.
Yeah.
You know, but if something's wrong, there's only one way to fix it, and that's to get on practice bulls and work at it. And that's what I see now. People they don't work at it. You know?
Right.
You buck bulls, a lot of guys, first thing they ask, how much you paying? For what? For you to practice and get better? Zero.
Yeah.
I said, $0 hairs is what I'm going to give you.
$0 hairs.
To get better. That's what, I mean, if you don't invest in yourself enough that much, then you need a new line of work.
Do you want guys, or do you ask guys? I think I know the answer to this question, but you make guys wear a helmet out here?
That's their deal.
I had a guy ask me that the other day. He's got kids that ride out there, but his best bull rider of the kids doesn't want to wear a helmet, and but this guy's real nervous. You know, he just built an arena. The kid that rides the best wants to ride without a helmet, and I was like, well, first off, it's your place. If you want to make a rule, gotta wear a helmet, that's fine. But I said, I was like, at my house, if somebody's like riding bulls and that's how they make their living, then whatever. If Kai or JB showed up, John Krimmer got on out there the other day, like, I'm not going to tell him to wear a helmet. But because these kids that have been on 50 head, they can't guarantee you they're not going to get jerked down.
Oh,
you know? But,
well, like here, like there's nobody like that comes here to get on.
Yeah, you better have been on 300 or 400 if you come get on here.
Yeah, if they've only been like on 40 or 50 head and they show up here wanting to get on bulls, their career's not going to last very long, because I saw a post Cody Custer put up that, you know, that they're the reason the way bull riding is now and is because, you know, like when I was younger, you weren't getting on bred to buck stuff when you were in the steer riding.
Yeah.
And now everything's like that, you know. And he says they're putting them on 2 rank of stuff too early, you know, and it's ruining their confidence, so they don't want to do it. And which I agree with it, but there is a certain point in your career to where you have to swap. You know, you get on good bulls, but when you're in a professional level, you got to get on buckers. You can't just go get on no jumping kickers. Like, that is not really going to help you.
Yeah.
And so I don't have any beginners really come here.
Yeah.
That's why I like when Cowboy got on. I was like, that's when I called you. I was like, man, you're going to have to bring something down here. I don't for him to get on. Unless we want to kill him off right off the bat.
Poor Cowboy. We pulled up, and my guys had already unloaded the bulls. We pulled up, and there's that black bull, and he's like, is that bull retarded? And I said, that's the one you're getting on, Cowboy. Yeah. And sure enough, that's that one that thumped him, and he was like, oh, God. He was hurting.
It hurt him. I was like, I kind of thought in my head when he said, oh, that hurt. And I was saying, you think that hurt?
Yeah.
Wait till one engages a slingshot.
Slingshot engaged. So you had 1 year of coaching under your belt?
Yeah.
That's the first one? So I guess what you're saying is like, hey, guys, if we had won, when you picked your 5 bulls, that one event you let them pick, if they'd have rode 4 of them, all right, maybe it's not such a big deal that all of them go to practice every time. But if your guys are going to buck off, then you got to come to practice. That's the rule.
Pretty much. Like that's what I've told people. I said, if you're winning, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
But if you're not winning, you got to do something different.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, and I understand like Josh being in Utah, Clay being in North Carolina, but there was guys that lived right around here that wouldn't come and get on.
Yeah.
And I was like, it didn't make any sense to me. Like,
Yeah.
so I told him, I said, from now on, if I send out a text message
Yeah.
saying we're bucking practice bulls, that's not a suggestion. They better show up, and I don't care if they got a sprained ankle or they're sore, or they're growing sore. I don't care. I do not give.
Yeah.
Deal with it. Get on.
I mean, can't argue with that because you did get on with that kind of stuff. Didn't you? Didn't you? When you broke your neck, you had a broken leg.
My left leg, my left foot, my right ankle were broke.
Okay, both of them.
Yeah, when I got there, I didn't know which leg to limp on, and that was my first thought when I hit the ground.
Thank God my legs are.
Yeah,
okay.
I hit the ground. I was like, oh, thank God I didn't step on my legs. And I rolled over and I was like, I just broke my neck.
How does your neck feel?
Holding my head up.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like nothing ever happened to it.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it difficult for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, man, you know, I didn't lose any range of motion. Nothing hurts. I'm like, I can still do it.
Right.
That dismount would get me.
Yeah, it's a little like Jacobs is back to riding horses, but
Well, see, when Jacobs started getting back on broncs, I told Samantha, I was like, well, Jacobs went back to riding. I'm going to go back to riding. She's like, no, his deal's different. I was like, no, it's not. It's spinal.
It's all spinal. My back broke. Spinal, like Mike Tyson. So you thought about it, but
I wanted to bad.
Yeah. Especially when you buck some bulls here that are just like right around.
Oh, yeah. When they're good, real good, and somebody falls off of them,
yeah,
I'm like, gosh, dang, I want to come up here because I'm pretty sure my rigging bag's. Oh, did you? Okay.
You don't.
Is it under that stuff over there? Or, Samantha may have took it to the house.
I bet she got it. But you're probably not gonna.
That's what they asked me the other day out there in Vegas. They said, "Would you cracking back out of retirement?" I said, "If they can figure out how I can not land on my head, I'd still ride bulls. I'd never quit."
Yeah.
And that's what Luke said. Well, the reason you landed on your head is because you wouldn't turn loose. And I said, yeah, and I don't believe that habit's going to break anytime soon. So I figure it's best I just don't try it.
Yeah. Jacob said the thought of getting back on actually had crossed his mind a year ago. He came to my house and saw 3C66 that he's like, I can't remember. I think it was Donnie got on her or something, but he was like, it's just too nice.
Great. He's going to go back to Rodeo and he's my insurance man.
Oh, yeah. If you need insurance, call Jacobs Crawley, Farm Bureau.
We'll get you lined up.
Dang. Y'all bucked a horse here, didn't you?
2.
In Bucktown?
Yeah, it's a little tight.
How did it go?
It went good.
Yeah.
I mean, they were just old campaigners. Just
Whose was they?
Bart Futrell had them. His boy's the one that got on them. But I can't remember if CK sent them to him, buck or whatever. But Bart's gathered up a bunch of horses since then to send back east.
Really?
For them rodeos he does.
Huh. Yeah, what's his boy's name? Cole?
Cole.
Yeah. Yeah, he got on at the house once. Yeah.
He's been getting on over there at the Ted Noose compound in Dublin.
Gotcha. Yeah, his boys ride.
Yeah.
Ted's boys ride.
'Cause I went over there a few times, picked up for him.
What'd you do out in Vegas?
Gambled.
You worked that after show for Teton, huh?
10 days.
10 days.
Straight.
You're kind of turning into quite the commentator.
Oh, no. Well, they put me in a good setting at the bar.
Yeah.
You know.
It was loud in there.
Oh, it was really loud. Yeah. Like when our first deal, when they did the pre-show and they would throw it to us, nothing was really going on in there. So I'd have one earpiece in because when I would do that kind of thing, I just always wore one so I could hear people,
Mm-hmm.
and then I could hear them in my ear. But it was so loud in there at night, I had to have both of them sun guns in or you couldn't hear anything.
Yeah. Yeah, when I went in there, somebody would say something and huh?
Yeah.
But you
Just
do.
nod.
You were doing commentating throughout the year with them though, weren't you? Like with Katie on Cowboy Channel.
I didn't, not for Cowboy Channel.
Well, it was
Just
for
at
Teton.
Teton.
Yeah,
I got to do all the American qualifiers again. And all that.
that's what it was. Well, now that Teton owns Cowboy Channel, I guess
Yeah.
it'll be. If you got time between your coaching,
And I do.
and you do,
Because all the qualifiers and all that are the first of the year.
yeah.
Of January through, when's the American?
Oh, that's right. Because it's
March,
usually in
April,
March over the
March.
top of Houston. Hopefully they move that. But
And, you know, so
the team deal's the second half of the year. Nice. Yeah. And so Brandon's the GM.
yeah, of the Wildcatters.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Who's your assistant coach?
There's three of us: me, myself, and I.
Oh,
Jagger.
and Jagger.
Jagger.
That's what Cameron said. He said he wasn't going to get on Tudaruski, and then
Jagger called him a puss.
Jagger said, "My dad said you're," and so he got on Tudaruski and broke his kneecap.
Yeah, he did. I was there. I was in the arena. I get to you.
Serby still got him, huh?
Yeah.
And what's the other one? Old Son.
Old son.
Yeah. Old Son bucks, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm. He threw that Stetson Wright kid off.
That's right.
He knocked that Cody Jesus out.
That's right.
He hooked Knox Dunn at Denver. I think Knox is the only person he's ever hooked.
Yeah.
I mean, he was mean. Like in the back pins, you think he's treacherous mean. Like,
Yeah.
it's funny. Even when you would feed. Like, I could walk off in there with him and he wouldn't bother me, but he knew me.
Yeah.
So Tyler Taylor was going to feed for me when I made the NFR in 21. And I told him, I said, hey, you might want to feed before it gets dark.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, why? And it got dark that day. They were here welding and stuff. And he said, why? I said, I'll just show you. Well, anytime somebody new was around, like he played it up now.
Mm.
And we're standing in front of the pen. It's dark out here. You can't hardly see, just the lights on the side by side. And he's standing in front of that gate, and this bull out of nowhere just smokes this gate. He's in there with like 4 bulls. There was 4 of them in there in that pen, and he smokes that gate. He said, and I got to go in there and feed him? I said, yeah. I said, just carry a sorting stick or something like that. I said, go stand in another corner. He said, really? I said, he's bluffing's all he's doing. And at rodeos, I would see him, like when Chase, once I sent him to chasing them, they would pin him up behind the buck and shoots, and he would wear panels out all the whole rodeo. And then when you bucked him, he would turn back. When they come off of him, haul ass to the other end. Just a straight dead beat to the roping box. Never would hook. And the only, if he accidentally ran over you, it's because you were standing in front of him when he went to take off.
Yeah.
And Knox said he got him up against the buck and shoots at Denver and hooked him.
Yeah.
But I've never seen him hook anybody.
I didn't realize Knox had Denver. That's awesome. Good for him.
Yeah, he called me because Tudaruski got him first. Pretty bad. Flung him around on his head for a while.
Dang.
Because he texted me and he said, gosh, dang, you trying to kill me? I was like, what are you talking about? In the morning, I hit send on my phone. About 3 people sent me the video. And I texted him back, and I was like, never mind. And I sent him a video of Jagger, and Jagger said, gotta watch Tudaruski. He's a mean mother. And a couple of days later, he called me back. He said, damn, that crooked horn bull got me too. And he said, don't you ever call me to come fight bulls at Bucktown.
But, well, some of your bulls at Bucktown are starting to calm down.
Yeah, I've actually, like, got a good set of bulls to get on. Like,
Yeah.
there's a few of them, if I was going to buck them, like the other day when we bucked bulls, when Kai and Case and all them got on, it was just us. We didn't have no bullfighters. Scooby was gone, so we didn't have any bullfighters. You know, if we're going to buck a bunch, I usually call Scooby and tell him to call somebody just to have them there. But
Right.
they're not that, like the ones I've got now are pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
hell, Kai got on 3 the other day here, and it was just Trent King was here, but he had brought a bull I bought, and we bought 3 bulls, and it was me, Kai, Gennaro, and Trent. That was it.
Dang. Which you've been known to slip out there a few times.
I can step around them every once in a while.
Did you get on here before you got hurt, or was y'all's pin? You did?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I thought. I thought your pin was built by then. I was
I didn't have like the catwalk around it and the deal up above it built yet.
Yeah. Well, that's good that you got to get on here.
Yeah, because I got hurt with my growing.
Yeah.
And so I had to sit out, and then I think, well, on my birthday last year, 2023, I got on a black bull I had here. I think it was just Samantha came over here and videoed it, and it was just me, Kai, and I can't remember, maybe one other person.
Yeah.
Because I got on him in my tennis shoes.
Yeah. How many do you think Jagger's been on now?
I don't know. He's not so sure about this new set of calves I got him.
They kind of buck.
Yeah, hard.
Yeah.
We've been working on the drop barrel. I got him on the drop barrel the other day and showed him what he's kind of saying. That's how you got to do it, bud.
Listen, Jagger, you're 5 years old.
Yeah, it's time
about to be 6.
Time to man up. Come on now.
I can't hold your hand this whole
These sungans kick now. Like, I didn't think they were going to buck this hard.
Yeah.
Like, I thought, yeah, they, have more than what them jerseys had, but there was one, because I was telling them first time he got on them,
yeah.
One dang near kicked me in the face. Like, I saw his hoof right in front of my eye, and it's a good thing I had his tail because he whipped Jagger over the shoulder.
Yeah.
He hits flat of his back right under him, and he was about to stomp right in the middle of him, and I had his tail and jerked him to the side.
Right. Do you want me to bring Spice back?
No. We got, what the hell's he call that gray one? Smoke wagon? Smoke wagon.
Smoke wagon.
He's about like a jersey.
Okay.
He just kind of gives him a good lope around there. So
yeah.
We'll keep him. Bodacious, though, we'll hook you.
Bodacious.
Jagger fought him.
Is your Bodacious a muley?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's yellow beef.
Good.
Cross calf.
That's the one that Jagger stepped in front of?
Yeah. He fought him for I don't know how long that day.
Dang.
And I told him because, like, when we would walk out there, he'd just stand there. But he'd see Jagger, and Jagger's short, and he'd bow up. And I told him, I said, all right, walk to him. I said, but when he starts, I said, you better pick a side and go. We played with him all day.
That's funny to think if he did try to be a bullfighter.
Oh, did you see him the other day at the videos they posted of him at the BFO?
Oh, was he?
Oh, so we go down there. Well, they had him a jersey. He had Tuck's jersey on. Well, the bullfight gets over with. And they have the PVC,
Yeah.
Oh, he had Weston out there. He went through like 3 of them guys.
Yeah.
He'd make them stand at the shotgun shooting.
That's hilarious.
Oh, and he was fighting.
That's hilarious.
Which it don't bother me. If he wants to fight bulls, that's fine.
Yeah.
Because whatever he decides to do, if he fights bulls, then it goes together.
Yeah.
Because I always told people, if you're not scared of them on the ground, you're dang sure not scared of them on their back.
That's true. I mean, odds are, if I had to put money on it, he's going to ride bulls. Me personally.
It's up to him. Here lately, he's been on a roping kick.
Okay.
So he's been on his Segway. Samantha sent me a video. They had a dummy set out there, and he was heading it. He'd run up there on his Segway and rope it. And she was heeling it for him. And then I guess he was playing the other day like he was roping, and he was going hauling ass on that gravel. And I think he leaned a little too far forward over the left side, and that thing ducked out from under him, and he ate it.
We can't forget that his granddad is Phil Line.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I guess old Tanner could probably teach him to keep that tip down, and there's no telling what he's going to end up doing. Now that I think about it. Because he's going to have...
He tells me all the time. He asked me the other day, he said, Dad, come out here and help me rope. I said, "Buddy, you're going to have somebody else." I said, "My arm don't work correctly. Do not swing a rope the way I do."
Dang.
I said, "I can't show it. Like, I can tell you and I can help you hold your arm up and swing it." I said, "But don't watch me swing a rope." I said, "Because it's not correct at all."
Can you at all, like if you were picking up?
I mean, I can swing it. I can make it work. Like, I've roped stuff in the pastures, just I have to do it sidearmed.
You're just not going to go enter a team roping?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Dang.
That's what there's boys around here asked, "Why don't you come over and rope?" I said, "Really?" They're like, "Yeah, why?" I'm like, "That's about all I got."
Yeah. Does it make you a little bit sad, or is it just kind of like, that's what it is?
That's what it is. Like, I used to, I team roped a bunch when I was younger.
Yeah.
And when I tore my shoulder up the first time, I had a pretty good little hill horse. And I'd go to them ropings during the week when I was at home and stuff. And then when I tore it up the first time, I tore it up so bad I didn't ever know if I was going to be able to swing a rope again. So I sold that horse. And then that's what everybody said, "Oh, since you retired, you're going to take up team roping?" I was like, "No, the bull riding took care of the team roping."
Dang. Yeah. You're just going to flank them.
Yeah. I can make it work. It just looks a little awkward. I'm not going to go enter no team roping. But, like, if I got to rope bulls or something, I can make it work. But the longer the night goes on, the lower my arm gets.
I bet it does get sore quick.
It gets weaker.
And heavy.
I can start out swinging it half-ass normal, and then it just
yeah.
And then by the end of it, I'm just selling it out there, hoping it
underhand.
goes on. Yeah,
all of it underhand.
Yeah,
dude, I don't know that there's anybody. I feel like if there's somebody that loves like raising, hauling, flanking, bucking bulls more than you, I haven't met them yet.
I know. That's what I asked that guy the other day what they were charging out of California for them fighting bulls, fresh bulls, and he told me, and he said, "What are you thinking about getting back into fighting bulls?" I said, "Hell yeah, I love mean bulls."
Yeah. Hauling them, trucking them, all of it. Who you gonna send? Hell, I'm gonna drive.
Yeah. Dale does not like to feed them with me.
Oh my gosh. That's the last time I had stitches, now that I think about it.
You're welcome.
Right here. Had to shave part of my mustache off. What bull was that? 500?
500.
So that's what you're talking about getting from Quattro?
Fighting bulls, yeah.
God. Right out of him probably too.
Probably his better bulls is what they're, like I asked him, I said, "What are they out of or bred by?" And he said, "Well, 500 bar," and he went on. So there's 38 of them out there.
I'll just be a little bit more. That is my arena. We use the big sucker rod. That was like that little rebar almost. That might have been rebar.
It was rebar.
Yeah, tiny. That bull.
Or no, it was real little sucker rod.
It was either real small sucker rod, but that fighting bull punched through there and did slice me open. Knocked me back further than this right here. I mean, it scattered my chickens. It like dazed me.
Well, I heard the crash, and I went around the corner pouring feed. So my first thought was, "Oh, God, one of them busted a gate open." So I dropped the bag of feed, and I take off back around the corner, and when I come back around, he's laid on one side of the alley. The gate is still chained and tied shut, and I was like, I didn't see the hole in it. Like, I just kind of looked to make sure they were all shut.
Total Feeds is what keeps the herd powered here at Radiator Ranch, and Total Equine is what I've been giving Boone for 10 years. He's 24 years old and still going strong. You can get it on Chewy.com or a dealer near you. I hope you're enjoying a ranch fuel as you're listening to this episode of Rodeo Time. Use code DALE on ranchfuel.com for 15% off, old son. Drink up and use code DALE on ranchfuel.com.
And I about started laughing because I thought one of them had just hit it and he had fell backwards. And I walk up there and I'm standing between him and that pen, and I look at him. I was like, "Man, you all right?" And he's like, "Huh?" And he was bleeding. I was like, and I look back over, and the one that hit it, 500, is looking at me through a gap about that big in that gate where he busted. It was 2 pieces of sucker rod he busted out, and his whole head is looking at me through that gate. And I turned back around. And I was like, "Get your ass up." Huh? I was like, "Get up now. I don't care if you're knocked out. Get up right now."
That's about the time I started to realize what had happened.
That's what I told him. I was like, get up and get out of here now. And he's like, what? And I was like, he can crawl through that hole he's looking at me through, and there's only one person going to save you, and it's me, and I don't want to get hooked right now, so get up.
That was prior to your injury, so
yeah.
I
was just standing in the middle waiting on him to get up and watching this from the other corner of my eye. I'm like, don't crawl through that hole. Don't do it.
He could have too.
Oh, easy. And because remember, he was the one that I had to flank like 3 times because he kept kicking me when I'd walk up to the lead up. He'd wait till I'd get, like, he was smart. He'd wait till I'd get right up there to put the flank on him, and he'd just stand there, and I'd lay it on his back. And, I mean, he would kick like a bucking bull and kick out and kick the out of me, get his leg over the sheeted part and kick piss out of me. We'd roll him up and back him up. I'd walk back up and he'd kick again. Finally, I said, hell, just put the flank on him with his leg out. He can't kick me then. So I tied it on him, and then I crawled up the lead up behind him and flanked him from behind him. And then he about killed poor Anthony.
Oh, that's the one that got Anthony. Poor guy. Is he the one that got it up the rectum?
Yes.
God. Weren't there 2 of them?
Yep.
2 rectums?
Sage, who won it.
Yeah.
Ripped part of his rectum. But Anthony got it the worst, I think.
Yeah.
Because I've never heard a man scream like that before.
Sweet kid.
Yeah, nice kid. Started a hell of a bullfight, too.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, yeah.
Those, I don't know that I've never seen fighting bulls that mean and fast and aggressive. I've never seen that.
All them guys called me, and they're like, what are you bringing? I was like, oh, they're all fresh. Which I didn't lie. They were fresh. They'd never been fought before. They just didn't ask how old they were. They were thinking I was bringing calves or something young.
Yeah.
I showed up with them five-year-old full grown.
With loose flanks.
Yeah. Dale's back there trying to flank him a little tighter to slow him down. I'm like, no. Whoa. Yeah, man. I said, my job's to haul them, feed them, make sure they fight good. What about the bullfighter? He did that to himself.
He shouldn't have signed up.
I'm not making him nod, so.
Oh, man. My very first bullfight, I was a senior in high school, maybe a junior, and C.K. Reed, it was at the stockyards. They were muleys, but, I mean, it was my first time. And I don't have any video of it, but I got 20 play-by-play pictures of it, and you can see me making rounds with this bull, doing okay, just a little muley. And but you can see him catching up to me, and as he's catching up to me, you can see the flank coming off. And by the time I do like a little reversal, I turn around, and the top of his head is on the bottom of my chin, and the flank is off of him. And CK's in the background just grinning ear to ear, just like JB was at that UBF at my house, grinning ear to ear when them boys got hooked. This time, my pins are permanent.
That's good.
So everything.
Oh, Wes, he didn't do so good on the T-post job.
No, he didn't. And that's my fault for not checking it. But damn, them big bulls, they went to hooking them panels.
Oh, and I was just picking them up like they weren't even there.
Golly. And they're heavy.
Yeah.
Big, stout, them WW.
Yeah, that's what
Powder River.
I told him, I said, you might want to get one of them to go around there and put some T-posts in, wire it, just to be on the safe side. You don't have to worry about them, jumping most of the time or anything like that. It's just when they get somebody down, they'll pick that fence up. I pull in there and look, Wes hadn't even drove the blades in the ground. The blades were still stuck about the ground. I'm like, let's try it.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
If
anything gets out, run.
Yeah. Those stags were perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. But them old bulls, golly, that was rank.
Those boys, their demeanors changed real quick, like when I backed in with that load of bulls. The stags to them.
The old YouTube, I think it was like, hey, we're going to have to slap a ad suitability flag on this video. Yes, 18 years and older. That's the restriction it put on it for the second one. Just borderline death.
Well, yeah, but y'all edited all the good parts out, like Anthony screaming.
Yeah. broken arm.
Cade.
Yeah, the old meat wagon was making rounds.
Yeah. I like the best part of the whole thing. Luke sent me he had a video of it too, and it was Dylan. That bull run him across the arena, and like he went to jump on the fence and he hooked him and threw him over the fence when he threw him on the outside.
Yeah.
The best part was Sage Say was leaned up against the damn truck drinking a beer, and he goes
and just watches him.
didn't stick his hand out, nothing to help him. And I mean, he lands right beside him. He just
never moved.
Back to drink a beer.
Take a drink of beer. Yeah. Every now and then we do the math on how many of them guys are have retired from bullfighting. Some of them quickly thereafter.
Well, Anthony, we didn't, after that, he was hurt, so he didn't. Well, the first bullfight he came back to was in Palmer, Nebraska.
Yeah.
Well, I'd hauled all the bulls from Uvalde up there.
Yeah.
And they were all fresh. It was a different set. They'd never been fought. Well, I tested them on a dummy one time to try to figure out whether they were short rounders or long rounders. Evidently, the bull he had in the long round must have slipped by me, wasn't so good with the dummy. Because I flanked him. Chad was running the shotgun shoot. He calls for him, and 10 foot out of that shotgun, I looked at Chad and I said he should have been in a short round. His thing was in 4-wheel drive. And
whoops.
He throws a fake, gets around him one time. That's the only time he got around him. This thing unrun him across that pen, back and forth. Finally run him back across the arena. He gets to the fence. He jumps on it, jumps over the fence, looks at them other guys and says, hell with this, I'm done. Went and got in his car and left, and he ain't never freestyled since.
Who's that?
Anthony Moore.
Anthony.
Yeah.
That was the end. So he had come from the beaches. And then
that was the first one back, I think.
Poor guy.
From the beaches.
He is so nice.
Yeah.
He is such a sweet
Like, I
kid.
kind of felt bad because that bull didn't match. He should have been in the short round. But, when you haul fresh bulls, you run into that because you really don't know what they're going to do until somebody's standing in front of them. And I'm not going to do it. So I had a dummy on a zip line.
Yeah. He must have slipped by me.
Yeah.
10 seconds in. I should have been in the short round.
Like he barely left that shotgun, and I looked at Chad. Chad looked at me, and I was like, he should have been a short rounder. He was moving.
There is no shame, Anthony. That's about how my bullfighting career ended out of Ada with them, or Ardmore with them Rex Dunn bulls.
Oh yeah,
Rex had they had a set. And
he had big crossbreds and everything.
I will say the ones you brought were more ready to kill a man than the ones I fought at Ardmore. But the ones at Ardmore were they were pretty close to it. But yours were just a little more moss. Yeah, go ahead. There's 2 people still fighting. There's one person fell off the face of the earth. We don't know where he is.
Yeah.
And then what is it, like 3 more? Oh, Tucker Lane, he was there. Tucker's still fighting.
Yeah.
So that's 3. Yeah. But no, if we I guess if you're gonna, was it 38? Was that the horses or the bulls?
That's the bulls.
That's 38. The bulls.
There's 38 coming 2-year-olds.
Dang. I don't know. I mean, my pins are ready. Like as far as the arena setup, they're ready for that. But
I got Gennaro set up with a trip hopper now. Don't even have to go.
Yeah. Yeah. Golly. Be careful, Gennaro. We can't have you. Gennaro's a sweetheart. We can't have him getting.
Gennaro's pretty good help.
Gennaro said they're Mexican fighting bulls for a reason. So that means you know how to handle them? You can speak their language? Like you handling a Chihuahua.
Oh, they speak Spanish.
Yeah.
Why did you think of this?
Gennaro, you're bilingual. Get in there.
Yeah. I'll remember that.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know if that's how it works, but we can try it out.
They don't speak Spanish.
Gennaro. I think that's Portuguese. I'm getting out of here.
Most of the ones from California do speak Portuguese.
Yeah.
That's who raised them out there. Well, I don't have them.
Yeah.
That's just a scheme in my brain going on right now.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll talk to Corey with Total Feeds. Maybe
I
there's,
like to dabble in a bit of anything.
Kevin Wayne that works for me. He's a lot like Joe Dirt, and he likes to he is constantly on Facebook Marketplace looking for a deal of some redneck machinery. But you're on there looking for bulls and horses. Just you got like an eye for a deal. What do you think is the best deal? What's the best flip you've had on a bucking bull? Numbers wise. You don't have to say like who you sold it to.
I don't know. I bought a bunch of them. I sold 2 for, I think I had 2,000 a piece in them. Sold them for 20,000.
Yeah.
For the pair.
2,000 a piece for 10x. 10x.
Yeah. I had $4,000 in the pair and sold them for 20.
Dang. 5x. That's still pretty good. What about sale barn? Have you gotten anything out of a sale barn that did well?
Not since that one.
Shrub grubber?
Yeah. But around here, like, it's different. You know, down there in Catula, it was all them brush bulls. They ain't never been bucked. They had never been tipped.
Yeah.
Like when I brought them once to your house, I tipped them at the sale barn before I loaded them and left and drove all the way to your house.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they showed up with all
remember?
that blood. That's
Yeah.
what, did you get on them, Donnie?
Yeah. Yeah. That also retired
You
Donnie.
retired Donnie Ray Daytona from the bull riding.
I already decided I wanted to ride broncs, but I was like, I'll get on them.
Okay.
He didn't want Wes to die.
What'd you get on?
I got on that big black bull. He was probably the weaker out of the bunch, but he was probably the meanest.
Yeah.
Did you get on Shrub Grubber? Or who got on Shrub Grubber? Wes. Oh, I remember that.
And remember old Rank Frank.
Frank.
You got in the barrel.
Yeah. He was the calmest, though, like, as far as, like, fighting the shoot and everything. I mean, he would hook, but Shrub Grubber, he wanted your ass.
Oh, yeah.
That's a handy name. We named him after Bushwhacker, Shrub Grubber.
Yeah, he was pretty good for a while.
He got crippled.
Yeah, I was bucking him when I moved up here. We had him tied in, and the guy that was running the neck rope had it run around his neck and twist it off to the back.
Yeah.
Well, that dipshit, when he let go of it, didn't hold on to the ring, and so it got twisted up. And had him like gates open, and his head still tied in the back of the chute. And he went to jumping and kicking in there, and when it finally popped loose, he turned out backwards and hipped himself real bad. I mean, crashed it, and he was crippled after that.
Dang. I got a little Red Bull we call Sale Barn, and came from the Sale Barn.
Yeah, the midget.
Yeah. The one that Cowboy thought was retarded. Anyway, he you got to hotshot him out now, but every trip he would be around to the right, but these last couple he ain't been. I'm scared that he might be almost done, but
Might be headed back to where he came from.
back to where he came from. But hey, we gave him a good life for an extra 2 years. He would have already been hamburger meat by now, boys. So you're welcome.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to make money going to the sale barn now. They're kind of high,
Yeah. They're real high.
which is good if one quits bucking.
Yeah. I've got one that's on the burner.
Do you think that Red Bull?
He's got one more trip. If he does it again, he is.
Yeah. I should have brought a trailer. Take him to the beaches.
Yeah.
That big old arena, though, he may not like that big arena.
Oh, he'll turn back
Yeah.
every time. I've bucked him 3 times. The Red Bull, 822. I hauled him to Cowtown. A Brazilian got on him. He turned back right in the gate left, threw him off. And then Edwin and them brought him over here and bucked him during the combine.
Yeah.
He turned back, threw the guy off. And then, he's just good, just up and down and turned back. But Case he was behind on him, but he was riding him, and he just locked him down. Stop around here, you don't stay much longer.
I don't know why that made me think of this, but when you do like team practices, would you? I imagine you'd probably let other teams, if there were guys around, show up and practice.
I've told Colby when we're booking practice bulls, they could let them guys come, or he'd come.
Yeah. What's the vibe like at the events? Is it kind of sure enough team segregated, feel like, or is it all pretty much the same?
It's, I mean, they're segregated. Each one of you's got your own locker room, each team.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, Lambert, he don't like his locker room next to mine.
Why?
Evidently, he don't like the smell of smoke and loud music.
It's like a damn bar in there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I thought we were riding bulls.
Yeah. I wasn't in the locker room. I wish I would have been. Hagen, he was sitting in there, and I had the old turtle box in there jamming out. And I guess Cleet walked around there and opened the door and said, "Do you mind turning that down, please?" So he turned it down, and I come back in just a couple minutes after that. And I'm like, "Who cut the music off?" And Hagen's like, "Well, Lambert asked if we'd turn it down." I said, "Turn it louder."
Was that
you'll come into my team's locker room and tell us what to do.
Is that the same one where you're ripping down the no smoking signs?
No, that was in Vegas when I was still riding.
Oh, that's an old video.
That was the first year they had it at T-Mobile.
Ah.
So I broke the T-Mobile in real quick, like.
They really thought, like, we're going to hang these signs, and that's going to let him know.
And it's going to make me not smoke.
Yeah.
I just repped them down and went to smoking. A couple of security guards come in there and told me, they said, "No smoking." I said, "Okay." And they just stood there and looked at me, and I kept on smoking. They're like, "They're going to fine you." I said, "Tell them, have at it. It's tax write-off." And they just turned around and left.
Who would smoke with you at the American?
Wade.
Because I got the one with Will Lowe. I got a picture of him.
Will, he would smoke. Wade would always come in there and sit down in the shower room, smoke.
BS with you? Yeah.
Stormy, when he was going.
Yeah.
Me and Wharton.
Kai, I guess Kai would be.
Kai dabbles in the cigarettes.
He like to rip some darts.
Not quite as much as I do, but he will dabble.
He dabbles like Donnie Ray Daytona. Donnie, do you smoke a few just because JB makes it look so cool? But on the record, you like to tell kids, hey, don't smoke.
Yeah, don't smoke. Like Jagger, he thinks it's the coolest thing ever to have fake cigarettes and run out. I was like, it's not cool, dude.
Yeah.
It's not cool.
Do what I say, not what I do.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
He's like, "Well, why do you smoke then?" I said, "Because just don't worry about it. You just don't do it."
Yeah. We'll talk about that later, buddy.
Yeah.
Don't ask questions. So do you think the team deal... Sorry, we keep getting distracted. The team deal would do you feel like you would enjoy it if you were still riding? No.
Absolutely not.
You like it as a coach?
Yep.
Why would you not enjoy it as a rider?
Well, I told them when they conjured up the idea before I got hurt, if I was still riding bulls in the PBR when they changed it to a team format, I was done.
Yeah.
And they said, "Why?" And I said, "Well, I've rode bulls my whole life to support me." I said, "I'm not staying on my bull to make somebody else's living." I said, "That's not how this works, and I'm not relying on him to stay on his bull to make my living." And I said, "Evidently, if you're going to have teams, you're going to have a coach, right?" And they said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, how much is that fine?" And they said, "For what?" I said, "Well, he was on the call. He was on that committee." So I said, "Well, say he's my coach. Say I ride like Friday night, and Saturday I'm in there getting ready, and he comes in and tells me I'm on the bench and somebody else is getting on my bull." I said, "How much is that fine?" They said, "For what?" I said, "When I knocked out of him." I said, "Because I've rode bulls since I was 13 years old, and no one's ever told me when I could or when I couldn't, and I don't believe I'm going to start letting them now."
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is the hardest part for me, is like the draw, but you're sitting there looking at 7 guys that are going to that event, You can only put 5 on.
Dang.
That's what it eats at me but my job's to put the best guy, match the best guy with that bull that fits him. And if you're left at the bottom, you're left at the bottom. I mean, but that's why it bothers me. I don't like it because guy flies to the bull riding, gets his there, hangs it up, and then just sits there.
When do you decide?
Like they'll come out the Tuesday before.
But I'm saying, when do you have to tell the PBR these are the 5 I'm declaring?
I think it has to be turned in like Thursday, but before the event.
Yeah.
So the draw's Tuesday, then you have to turn it in by midnight on Thursday. And like Dash, he's always, the first time we did the draw, like 10 minutes, I sent him who I wanted on what bull, and he's like, you do know you have till Thursday. I said, think long, think wrong.
Dang. Because I wonder, there's sometimes like just guys are, I mean, obviously you know how it is, but like if you can tell somebody on your team is having their bushwhacker night.
Oh yeah.
You want to make sure you put him on the team, if he's kind of.
That's what's messed up about it. Like you do, like if injuries or something come up, you can swap guys out.
Right.
But I don't like having to be the one to decide who's getting on and who's not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I mean, hell, if I was going to fly to an event and not be able to get on a bull,
right,
that'd be like flying when you're like the 18th alternate and sitting in the locker room.
Technically, they still get paid.
Oh yeah, paid.
They still get paid.
Yeah.
What does it pay for a bull rider to be on a team? You don't know?
That's above my pay grade, man. I'm coach.
Is it individually decided?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
so that's between him and the owner.
That's between him and the GM. Yeah.
The GM, I guess.
The manager does it.
Dang.
H does it all.
Yeah. Ooh.
I don't ask.
Gotcha.
And that's what I told them guys right off the bat. I said, look, I don't know how other coaches do it. They might just take a flat rate, for coaching. I said, but that's not how I set mine up.
Right.
And I said, so don't think I'm not in it to win it. I said, I still got some skin in the game. And they said, what do you mean? I said, well, I've got a contract. I get paid, but I got bonuses set in there banking on you guys winning.
Yeah. But overall, you feel like it's a good thing for the sport of bull riding? Hey, Bro Tater Chip, if you like getting swole-o-matic, then get yourself some Protein on MountainOps.com. Hey, or if you just like being healthy, whether you're trying to bulk up, get healthy, have energy, go to MountainOps.com and use code Kevin for 20% off. Rock and roll denim is what Dale Brisby uses to spur his bucking bulls. I get the reflex. Gives me the mobility I need to be the cowboy I am. So go to rockandrolldenim.com, old son.
I can see where they did it. Like the old school fans don't probably like it.
Yeah.
Because, they got their favorite person, but it cuts down on, well, like somebody shows up at bull riding and you got 5 people that are fans of Dale Brisby. You got 5 people that are fans of JB Mauney. Now people can go and, like Oklahoma, they're going to pull for their Oklahoma team.
Yeah.
Whether they like guys on the other team, they're still going to pull for their home team.
Right. What'd you think of the Kid Rockin' Rodeo?
I didn't go.
You didn't go?
They didn't have bull riding.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't go.
They got to have bull riding.
Yeah. That's what they put out, the coaches of the teams and everything, and I text Gleason and was like,
the only bull rider is Dale Brisby.
I was like, what's the deal? He goes, well, they don't have bull riding. I was like, well, that's stupid. And I never replied back.
Yeah, it was during the
finals.
During the PBR finals. And I think they should have bull riding. Turns out that first one ran all night long.
Yeah.
So they didn't need to have any more events that night. We got to figure out a way to make it a shorter event. But, man, I have never been more entertained by timed events.
Yeah.
Watching the calf roper go against a calf roper.
Yeah.
And then like they're tying at the same time. And it makes sense because timed event is literally a race. We just never get to see them go head to head.
Head to head.
But when the audience can visually tell who won, like in the moment, it made it so exciting. And same thing with barrel racing. These people lit that arena up. And that's the only thing that saved them with it not ending until 11:30. Like Webb had some fighting bulls in there. He said he didn't get out of there till 4 a.m. And then people just stayed hooked. That was wild. But they got to figure out some way to put bull riding in there. Yeah.
That's what everybody asked me, how you like coaching. I said, it's fun. And it's also the most stressful thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
Because I can't do nothing about it.
Ooh, dang. And you're so used to being in control. Dang. It'll make you be a really big fan of some guys and really pissed at others.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I had to do. I had to kind of keep us. I didn't want to, it was first year I coached. I didn't know how to go about it.
Yeah.
So I kept my mouth shut when I wanted to rip in some of them.
Yeah.
And I didn't say anything. And then I told him, I said, well, first year's under my belt. Next year's going to be a different story.
Yeah.
Because like when you see me here.
Right.
You come get on here.
Yeah,
there was Alex's buddy. Alex texted me and asked if a boy could come here and get on. And I said, yeah, I don't care. We're bucking bulls. And so he shows up. And he stands back there and doesn't get on anything.
Yeah.
And he was wanting to Willie came, too.
Oh, when he showed up.
Yep. Willie came, and I had a couple sorted off just for Willie to get on.
Right.
And one of them was Kai's bull. And, like, for Kai, he's not a practice bull, but for Willie, he's good.
Yeah.
He just kicks out there a couple and barely turns back, might stop, might not. And that kid was wanting that bull back. And I was like, no. And the boy had just won Cowtown on the Red Bull I had a couple of nights before this. And I said, no, we're not loading that one back. I said, get on that black bull there. He's good. He just up and down turns back. Well, there were some other boys here with him, and he pulls his rope. I flanked that bull, and he slid up, slid back, slid up, slid back like 3 or 4 times, and then he reaches down, undoes his wrap, going to re-pull it. Well, I never unflanked a bull. He wasn't standing. Like, he wasn't bucking in there or anything. And one of them other boys says, I'll get that hoe right. I kind of looked over. He pulls it the second time. Well, hell, I left him flanked. I walked up there to the front of the slide to see what this bull was doing. And all he was doing was every time he'd slide up, he'd turn his head and hit that gate.
Yeah.
He'd slide back and mess with his hand. And he'd slide back up. He wasn't even moving.
Yeah.
He'd turn his head and hit the gate like his hand wasn't moving at all, and he'd mess with it. When he undone his wrap that second time, I walked back around him. I pulled the flank. I said, all right, I gave you 2 chances to get this hoe right. I said, somewhere in your head, you got to decide whether you want to be a bull getter owner or a bull rider. And I said, because right now you're acting like a.
Yeah.
And I said, so this time, won't you have some meanness about you? Pull your rope, get him standing where you want him, and nod.
Yeah.
And he did, and he got drilled.
I
turned and looked at Gennaro. I said, any bets on he don't ever want to come back to Bucktown and get on again?
Poor kid.
But I mean, that's.
Well, I say poor kid unless he wants to be a bull rider. And that's what you're dealing with.
Yeah.
Well,
I said it on them Deals Randy video. I mean, the fight starts when you crawl off in there. If
Yeah.
you're timid, they're going to take advantage of you.
Yeah.
If you hit them like you mean it and try to manhandle them around, they usually stand a lot better. But and I've told people, I said, they're like dogs. They can sense fear.
Yeah.
So if you show weakness, they're going to take advantage of it.
So, in Randy's words, sack up.
Yeah.
Who
Spoonful of concrete, hard enough. Up.
Who does that? Who has the spoonful of concrete out there riding right now?
Hagen.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a tough little bastard.
Yeah.
He's young. He's little. The way they taught him how to ride bulls wasn't really the correct way. But we're getting him. Because I told him, I said, these bull team deals, you'll get by them, some of them riding, because They told him to reach down there and grab a hold of his rope pretty much.
Mm.
And that's how he rode. And I said, you can't do that here. Like at this level, I said, you get on a long john with your feet in that rope, he's going to rip both your legs off or knock your head off or both.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to work. I said, you're going to have to learn to ride with knees. And I got him where he's pulling his knees up in them and riding. And I said, them knees ride everything. And your knees pull you where you need to be.
Yeah.
As long as you got that inside knee running them when they turn back, it don't matter if you're late or not. Your knee pulls you around there. And then you just catch them. And he figured out, like getting on over here, he figured out what I was talking about. The bull kind of hopped, skipped out through there and turned back to the right away from him. He was late, bad. He had his inside knee running his shoulder, and he just pulled him right back around. He's like, man, it felt like I had rope. I said, your knees ride them. And I said, those spurs are secondary. You don't even need them if you know how to ride with your knees. I said, that's why I used to get on bulls with tennis shoes. I never really use it. Your spurs are secondary. They're your last stitch effort to save you from getting whooped down or something like that.
Right.
But he's tough. Like, I was putting him on at those deals, and I could tell his shoulder wasn't right, but he wouldn't say nothing. And I ran into that. I think a lot of them guys didn't want to say anything to me, if they were sore, which in return screwed me over. Because here I'm putting them on thinking they're good to go, and then they're sore.
Yeah.
Which I knew Hagen was sore, but I didn't know how bad. And I got to watching him ride, and he would get to where he needed to pump over his head, and he couldn't. Well, I made him go into sports medicine. Hell, his shoulder was separated on his free arm.
Golly.
And then he's like, well, I know a guy that won 2 world titles with a separated shoulder, and looks at me, and we walk out, and Hagen was like, both times? I said, yeah. I said, but there was a difference. I said, there was a difference. He said, what? I said, I couldn't feel mine. I said, they had.
Yeah.
I said, mine didn't hurt till afterwards.
Yeah. Did, dang, so it's good to have like one of them guys on your team.
Yeah. That's what I told Brandon and them when they were cutting guys and everything. I said, I don't care who you cut, you're not getting rid of Hagen.
Yeah.
He stays on this team. I said, because as soon as he gets it all clicking and figured out, he is going to be hard to throw off.
Who else stayed on?
Court's good.
Yeah.
Court, Clay, and Matos, he carried the team.
Right. Matos.
Yeah. And he's got a brother.
Did he have
that rides just like him.
Oh, dang.
That's going to be 18 this coming year, I think.
Did he have how did he feel about having carried the team? Good attitude about it? Yeah.
I'm not real sure. I don't speak Portuguese. He don't speak English, so.
What?
Speaks no English.
Oh, dang. Well.
And so, like I said, 8 seconds? I said,
bueno.
Good. We're good.
Well, maybe they'll miss Kai in the draft because it's possible. Me and Trevor were doing the draft for the Kid Rock and Rodeo, and we may or may not have. Trevor wasn't paying attention. We had 90 seconds, and we missed out on Cade Bruno. Sorry, Cade. We got Sage, and then we got Chase Brooks, which I'm excited about Chase. But we wanted our old team back, which was Sage and Cade Bruno. And Trevor, I was on the phone with Wes Stevenson talking about bareback riders, and they said, low riders, 30 seconds. And I was like, yeah. And then low riders, 10 seconds. I was like, Wes, I got to let you go. And I called Trevor. It was too late because he was the one picking the teams. But maybe that'll happen with you guys. You draft in person, though, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I doubt it. Colby's already said he's taking him. He's got first pick.
Yeah. When is the draft? You don't know.
They'll let me know.
Yeah. They'll be lucky if you show up, huh?
Yeah.
Well,
I'll show up. I just don't know when it is.
You'll show up what?
I said, I'll show up. I just don't know when it is.
Yeah.
I can't remember that far back.
Right.
That's first of the year, man.
What are these guys?
Almost a year ago.
I was asking, I can't remember which bull rider I was asking this. Maybe Don Gay on the podcast, but what's one of the biggest things that guys are doing that are bucking off? Do you see like a common thing among like that a lot of young bull riders are not getting done, maybe not using their knee like that?
Well, most of it comes down to just quitting the ship too early.
Really?
That's why, like, at South Point, my team, we didn't move on. And I told them, I said, I said, I didn't always do great in Vegas, but, like, I got on practice bulls where I went to somewhere, I was prepared. I was ready. No matter whether I was hurt, nothing. I was ready to get on bulls that weekend. And I said, once you get there, the only thing you can control is, one, how hard you try. And two, I tied my hand in there, which wasn't coming out.
Yeah.
And I said, the way I had it, my mentality was, if I didn't do my job and make that whistle, I felt like I should hang and drag.
Yeah.
I said, that's how I went about it. And I said, a lot of y'all need to take that and start doing it.
Yeah.
Because a couple of them guys, one of them's hand popped out of his rope and for no reason. And it flew all over me.
Dang.
I mean, I can't even feel half of my riding hand. Hadn't since 2012. And very seldom did they take my rope away from me.
Yeah.
I always said, man, that's a counterfeit way of getting bucked off. I said, there's rosin out there that's sticky enough, and you can twist that rope and take that wrap where it won't come out.
Yeah.
But a lot of guys, I mean, a lot of them are scared to get hung up. That's why they use Brazilian ropes.
Damn.
Josh Frost, he's not scared to get hung up, but he told me, he said, when I was riding American rope, he said, I was getting hung up all the time.
Yeah.
And he said, so I swapped, and I don't get hung up near as much. And I said, yeah, but when you do, your belly up. Because they hang up into their hand. So they're dragging on their back. I said, last time I checked, I'd rather be belly down them stepping on my ass than on the other side.
That's a really good point. How long, when they do hang up into their hand, they can still drag.
Oh, for a while.
Long enough to get.
And that's what I don't understand, the amount of rosin they have to put on those Brazilian ropes. Like, if I used that much rosin on my American rope, they would have had to get me loose in the damn strip and shoot.
Yeah.
Like, I would have never come loose.
Yeah.
Like, it amazes me. Like, you can walk by them ropes that are guys ride with Brazilian ropes, and the hell, their damn tails will damn near jump out and stick to you. Like, I mean, they got it caked on there, and I'm like, it shouldn't take that much rosin.
Yeah.
You know, if it is, something's not right.
Yeah. It seems like, I feel like most guys right now are riding with Brazilian ropes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's getting them to be pretty popular.
Well, what it was is Adriano, Silvano, them guys show up, little kids watching it. Well, they're winning everything. Well, I'm going to do what he does.
Yeah.
And that's what everybody, because I before my left elbow was messed up, I always pulled my hand down on the side. But because my arms were so long, so I had to pull it a little farther over. I never pulled it just dead center of their back.
Yeah.
I couldn't. You know, I mean, my arm was so long, so I'd cock it over to take up a little space. And, oh, wait, you pull your hand on that side. Why don't you try Brazilian? I said, no. So I start with American rope. I'll finish with American rope.
Yeah.
And I rode with one time left-handed because I lost my gear bag. And the only left-handed guy up in Calgary was Zach Brown. And he said, well, I got an extra rope, but it's a brand new Brazilian rope that's never been on a bull. Ooh. I said, well, that's better than a flank rope. Give it here. I did not like it.
Really?
Whatsoever. Nope. Got a re-ride. Felt like a monkey humping a football the whole time. I couldn't get up out over it. The handle was so stiff that I couldn't get forward.
Right.
Like it had me set down on my butt the whole time. And they gave me a re-ride, and Zach had already got on, and he said, you want to use that rope again or my American rope? I said, give me that American rope. I said, I'm not putting that other one back on there.
Yeah.
And I'll turn the right-handed rope around backwards and ride with it before I ride with that thing. And then I rode with one when I broke my left hand and was riding right-handed. And I did the same thing. I thought, well, those guys don't hang up too much. So I'll ride with one of them because I had a cast. I couldn't use my left hand.
Right. You wouldn't be able to get yourself out.
They had to take my wrap and everything for me, and I still hung with it. But I'm pretty sure my mind was telling my hand to open, and inside my cast on my left hand, it was going like this because this one wasn't used to having to open.
That was also when you tried with a helmet, right? When you were riding with a helmet?
Yeah, I rode with a helmet.
You had that club on your hand and a helmet.
Yeah. finally, I had one started at Billings before I rode gunpowder and lead, right-handed.
Yeah.
I had one turn back right in the gate to the right and was riding him dead easy right-handed, and my damn hand popped out of that Brazilian rope. And I went in the locker room. I said, I got somebody else's American rope. And then I went and made Tandy cut my cast off and put a smaller one on.
Yeah, just a little too big.
Well, that first one they put on, it was like I had a cinder block tied to my arm. It went from my elbow all the way down, and then it curved and stuck out here.
Yeah.
So I couldn't jam my fingers in the ground, like hitting the ground. And Tandy's like, well, that's so you want. I said, I don't care about my fingers. I said, cut the cast down and put a small one on.
Yeah. So
he cut it down, and he just put a normal cast on it.
Yeah. Dang. So the
each to his own though.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't. If it works, ride with it.
Yeah.
But
it just don't work for you.
I told somebody the other day. I said, "Watch." Somebody said, "Man, he at the NFR." They said, "Man, he had that one rode and his hand popped out." I said, "You watch." They said, "What?" I said, "Watch. Pay attention now. Every time somebody's hand pops out, look at what kind of rope they're riding with."
Yeah. Huh.
And 99% of the time, it's a Brazilian rope.
I wonder why it pops out easier.
Handles are stiffer.
Yeah.
The risers are bigger. Nothing to stop it.
Yeah.
Because Dalen Swearingen was having that problem. And I told him, I said, Dalen, you were taught like I was how to ride bulls. Get out over them. Stay to the front. He's like, yeah. I said, those Brazilian ropes are built to keep you set down on your butt. I said, let me guess. When you drive out over it, if it does let you drive out over it, I said, your hand rolls out of that rope, doesn't it? He said, yeah. I said, because it's rolling around the handle and the handle's not rolling with you. And so I told him, I said, just take you some vice grips, put it on each side of where your hand goes in that handle and roll it forward, stand it up. And I said, that way, when you push to drive out over one, it's with you.
It stays with you. Yeah.
Because see, I couldn't, my handles on my ropes weren't like, people couldn't believe I'd ride with the ropes I rode with because they were like they were wore out.
Really? Yeah.
I hated new ropes because the handles were too stiff.
I remember how disgusted you looked at Cowboys rope whenever we showed up here. It was too new. He was like, all right, I'm going to go get mine.
Yeah, like I liked one that was, I used to be bad. I'd get a new rope, give it to a kid, and let him go ride with it for a month or two and then bring it back, and then I'd start riding with it.
Yeah.
Because then it was broke in. Like I liked to where when I pushed, when I took my rep and it was right there, it stayed. It would roll up with me. But the bad part about that is if you go over that outside shoulder, then you're locked in.
You hang up.
That is locked.
How many times you break your legs, you think?
Oh, hell, I don't know. I never knew I broke my leg until I blew my knee out.
He said, dang, what is this down here?
Peter goes, when'd you break your leg? I was like, I've never broke my leg. He's like, yeah, you have. Yeah, you have. I was like, what? And he said, feel this.
Yeah.
And there's a knot in it. He said, you broke your leg. Damn. I was like, oh, maybe that's why I was sore, I guess.
Could you identify when you had done it in your mind at that point? No, it was just way back. Yeah.
That's like when I had groin surgery, I had a chunk of bone in my groin.
I remember you sending a picture of that. Golly. Don't you still have it somewhere?
Nah, I don't
know. The bone?
No,
in a jar?
Mm-hmm. They said it was 3 inches long.
Did what it had just like calcified?
Tandy, because when I went, because I tore, I didn't know what was wrong with my groin. I knew it was jacked up at the NFR. But then I got home and got to where I was walking around pretty good. I was like, hell, it's all right.
Yeah.
And then I went to, where is it? Sammy has his calf bucking. Belton?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, in February.
I was entered in the calf bucking on Thursday in the slack. And
when they have them kids show up.
Yeah. There's a kid, all the school.
Yeah.
And he bucks all his calves. And I was 68 points. Bull kicked like twice, and I mean hauled ass. We were at the other end when the whistle blew. He was rolling. And when I stepped off, I was pouring sweat and trying not to throw up in the arena. And I was hobbling back down that arena, and that judge said, hey, the rewrite. I said, you can piss off too. And I just kept going like, yeah, I knew something because I didn't even have to use it. Like, and I called Tandy immediately. When I got in the truck and left there, I called him, and I went a couple days later, or the next day or something, and he x-rayed it, did MRIs, and he said, well, the growing's tore off the bone at your pelvis, is ripped down. God. And then he puts the x-ray up there, and he said, you see this right here? I said, yeah. He said, that's not supposed to be there. I was like, well, what is it? He said, it's a chunk of bone in the muscle. I said, well, how in the hell did it get there? He said, evidently you chipped your femur, your pelvis, or something at some point. The chip worked its way into the muscle, and then over the years of getting stepped on and beat on, it just calcified and got bigger and bigger and bigger. And he said, it's been in there a long time. I said, hey, you know, he said, it's smooth. He said, if it was fresh, it'd be jagged and sharp. He said, it's smooth, rounded off. And he said, I'm going to send you to Dr. Myers. And I said, why? I said, he's the one that does, like, the main, like, core surgeries. And he said, well, that chunk of bone was laid up right against the main artery running through my leg.
Dang, could have killed you and you wouldn't even known. I mean, like, said, well, without breaking skin. I
said, well, I'm glad something didn't step on my ass and it sever that artery and me die and not know what the hell's going on.
Right.
And so that's what they cut it out, put a plate in, reattached my groin back up to my pelvis.
That's what kept you out most of that season, wasn't it? Like right before you retired.
Yep. They had kept me out because that was in 22. I had surgery on 2/22 of 22 on a Tuesday in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And so like 1st of July, Tandy said, yep, looks good. You can go back. I got on 8 bulls and snapped the growing muscle in half.
Yeah.
Ripped it completely in two. But the only thing I could think of is where they took that chunk of bone out.
Uh-huh.
You know, I had a drain tube in for a while, and then they took the drain tube out, but I guess, you know, where that chunk of bone, it weakened that muscle right there. Because I did it at Cowtown. I got on some bulls, and I entered up there at Cowtown just for some practice, and Melton comes walking in there. He's like, hey, that bull you got, he's real deal. I was like, what? No, y'all don't bring none up here but a bunch of spinners. He's like, well, usually we put him as a re-ride, but CK wanted to buck him, and like he means it. I'm like, great. Trying to slip off over here and just get a little nice practice in. And he did buck, and I was riding him, and it snapped. And like I turned my head and was wanting off.
Yeah.
Like I was trying to get off. And I hit the ground. I couldn't get up. I was crawling. Randy was up there that night. And I went in that locker room, and I mean, immediately I was pouring sweat, trying not to throw up. And the next morning, I knew. I went to the bathroom, wasn't paying attention, looked down. I was like, oh, dang. Like, I was black from my belt buckle to about right here.
Oh,
and I called Tandy, and I said, pretty sure I just finished the growing muscle off. He said, why? And I told him, and he said, well, there wasn't a whole lot holding it together. I said, well, what do I do now? He said, well, I can go in and reattach it, but you'll run the risk of tearing it again. And he said, like I've always told you, if you tear it completely, you can't tear it twice. So I just let it heal ripped in two and never had no problem out of it.
Even now?
It'll pop every once in a while. Like, I don't know, like gets hung up in there, but two knots in my leg.
Do you think you could beat Gennaro in a foot race?
Right now, probably. I hadn't been on bulls in over a year.
Yeah.
My legs work a lot better than they used to.
Right.
They're not broken, not swollen.
Yeah.
That's why I'll step around them bulls every once in a while now.
Yeah.
My legs
We be seeing
work
you.
like they.
Have y'all had to have any, y'all hadn't had any bad hangups at Bucktown?
Well, Hagen hung to a bull one day, and I couldn't get to the bull because the bull is not very mean. So every time I would step to the bull, he would jump away from me. But he was on his feet the whole time, didn't hurt him or anything. And then old Scoob, Ryan, he got hooked up against the fence the other day, and Scoob unfortunately did not have any undergarments on.
Ooh.
And it ripped his whole.
Jagger, close your eyes.
And he said, I'll be right back. So he went to his car, put some shorts on, was changing, and we were getting ready to buck a bull. I said, take your time, Scoob. I got it. And so I picked this bull up, he followed me off, and somebody had the video, so I took the still shot of me stepping in there picking him up. And I said, I don't even know why I called you, Scoob.
Wear some underwear next time. Also,
any time I can get a good flick where it looks like I'm doing some good bullfighting, I always send it to Scooby.
Yeah.
See, like this black and white picture. That's a good shot right there.
That is a good shot. Yeah. Just pulling him away.
Yeah.
Is that you too?
Under him?
No, on the left, yeah.
That's me coming in there.
The arm on the side.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was old snack pack.
Has Crimber been here, John?
Yeah, he's been here before. Yeah.
Has he? I feel like
he don't have to because he's got bulls at his house.
Yeah.
So
could you not smoke in here? This is kind of
why?
I'm just kidding.
It's my podcast room, man. Donnie, you mind doing me a favor? You hand me one of them monsters out of that fridge.
Plug.
You sitting right there by it.
I feel like John
Let me up top. There's one case open.
John sacks up.
Oh, you're white. Yeah, yeah. Don was wired.
That'd be funny if you could get him on your team.
Yeah, but I doubt Paulo ever let him go.
I imagine his dad wouldn't like it. Anybody else out there? Anybody in the PRCA? You see a little resemblance of JB Mauney?
Oh, yeah. Like, that Wasey Shallow rides really good, which he had a bad NFR, and Jeter Lawrence, that kid rides really good. You know, I mean, they didn't have the best finals, but
they finished strong.
Yeah. They finished a lot stronger than I did when I went.
But you started strong.
Mine started really strong. And then after the second round, went downhill real fast.
Man,
that was funny, Boudreaux. Man, you always rode good in the Thomas and Mack, huh? I said, evidently you weren't paying attention. He's like, what do you mean? I said, you're remembering only the good finals.
Yeah.
He said, what? I said, it went one of two ways. I never came out here and did mediocre.
Yeah.
Like it was either really, really good or I got wrecked out the entire time, like the whole week. And I won, me and Kyle split the first round. He's like, man, it looked like it's going to be good. And the next night I walked in there after they sewed me up and stapled my head up. And I looked at Boudreaux. I said, I told you there's no in between out here for me. It's either the top or all the way at the bottom.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I forgot Boudreaux was there.
Yeah.
Golly. I do love Boudreaux. I think I'm about to go buy a bull from him. I showed you the video. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I got one bull from a kid south of Fort Worth, and I'm going to get another one from him.
I got you another one.
Which one?
What? Old Roman.
That one of Alex's?
No.
The one you were just showing me a video of?
Roman. Jumped off one spot.
Yeah? How much you want for him?
I don't know. I have to look. I can't remember what I got. What did I give for him? I have to ask.
You have to ask Gennaro.
I have to ask Gennaro. Jenny's my bookkeeper, security, feed man.
And I'm your merch man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I have to go back through my damn messages.
I'll get him.
He'd be good for that.
Yeah, I'll buy him.
Get on.
I got so many dang bull riders now.
You have to put a little flank in him.
Is he hot?
No, not at all.
Really?
Hell no.
I don't mind a little bit, but
he's not at all.
Yeah.
Like you can stand right in front of him and he'll go around you. But he's fat right now. Got him kicked out with them other bulls. But you buck him, he should be 2 or 3 middle of the pen, turn right to left.
Damn.
And got some up and down to him. That's why you got to put the flank in him. If you just kind of hang the flank on him, he won't kick as hard. But if you pull it in him, and I mean, he's perfect practice because he'll rear, kick, couple, and he always goes pretty much right in front of the out gate. He just kind of circles, and then he'll just turn back to left, kick.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I'll come get him.
I keep him around here. They'll wear him out. He's
if you're willing to sell him, I'll
sell him.
Yeah.
Everything's for sale when you show up Bucktown. Everything has a price except Larry. And Gennaro.
And Gennaro and Tudoruski.
Yeah. But that's not my deal.
Yeah.
That's Jagger's bull.
Yeah.
I would have sold him alone. He would have nobody would have ever known Tudoruski if he was mine.
Yeah.
because I had some offers, and like one of them offered me quite a bit of money for him, standing right here.
What'd you
Now,
turn down?
20.
Dang.
And I mean, he said he would give me 20,000 cash for him. And I said, man, he's my son. I can't sell him. And he said, well, call your son. I called Jagger. I said, you want to sell to the risky? No. I said, sorry. I had to swallow every bit of my bull trading right there. I was like, I even Jewed with Jagger. Like, I was like, I'll buy you a couple more, buddy. Like, we'll get some more. No. I was like, are you sure? No, we're not selling him. I'm like, I mean, I had to talk him into letting Chasing them haul him.
Yeah.
And I was like,
we still own him.
yeah. Because I told him, I said, why don't we let Chasing them haul him and they can buck him? You can watch him on TV. And he's like, no. And then I was like, man, you can still watch him on TV. It'd be way cooler than him. Nobody wants to get on him around here. They're all scared of him. And he goes, okay. I was like, thank God. Like,
At least he can make some money somehow.
Because the way around here is the faster I sell them, the more money I make because the less feed and hay you got in them, less time. And when he offered me that, I was like, because I told him, he said, what about that one? I said, hey, he's my son. He goes, I'll give you 20,000. I was like, Jagger, you sure?
Samantha, no. Put Jagger on the phone. I got to talk to him.
Yeah, now. And I said, I got home, I told Samantha, I said, he is just like you. Samantha, you could call her right now and tell her you got this horse, his age, everything. She'll have him sold by the end of the day. How much you want for him? She couldn't sell one of her horses.
Yeah. Well, hell, you're having to build a whole new barn for her.
Yeah, I'm doing that so they get out of my bullpens. I'm tired of hearing that my bullpens, the ground's too hard. And she goes, can you put sand in there? I said, no, they're built on a slope for a reason. Well, why? I said, if you put sand in there, first time it rains, it's all going to wash out.
Yep.
I said, but I built them that way because, one, they're for bulls, and two, they never get muddy.
Yeah.
They always drain off.
Yeah,
so
that's
they're built
true.
there. And that ground's just too hard. I said, well, my horses like it just fine.
The ground is too hard, even in the pens. So, you got how many total pens do you think you have out here
Now?
Yeah.
Did you see the other ones we built? In the square trap?
Yeah, I didn't see them. What do you think?
They weren't here when y'all come and bucked them bulls?
Well, I mean, I was here, but I didn't really look around.
What's there, 16 pins in it? Yeah. 8 on each side of the alley.
And then I know there's 19 back pins. I
Yeah.
counted those.
There's 19 back pins. And then, you know, that rectangle trap that was behind the back pins.
Yep. That's what you put 8 in.
16.
Or 16, I mean. So that makes 35 back pins behind the arena. Dang.
And
I think I have 7.
And you can, and in that rectangle trap, there's a 10-foot alley all the way around it. And the alley connects to the alley that was already there down into like strip and shoot. And you can send them any direction you want.
So that's just 35 back pins. That's not even like where you live them and
you
feed
can.
them. Yeah.
Like that's what I started doing. I've been leaving him, most of these bulls kicked out in the pasture. And like if I'm going to take them somewhere, like on a Friday night, I'll catch them Wednesday and I'll put them in them small pens, get them off that grass, kind of get the grass belly sucked off of them.
Right.
And then take them. That's the best thing I did. We use those pins more than we do anything else.
Mm-hmm. I'll get some slam latches for mine.
Well, the horseback latches they'd bend. You know, the rods.
Right.
That Luke Branquino owes me for.
What'd he do?
He said he wanted to buy them for his pins. And I said, well, we'll cut them off. You can have them. I'm going to put slam latches. You can buy them. And so the pipe yard charges like $40 or $45 a piece for them. And there ain't a damn thing wrong with them. So I told him, I said, I'll sell them to you half price. He picked up 30 of them.
The latches?
Yeah. The latches and the
with
sliders.
The ring?
Yeah, you just mount it. That's all you got to do. And then have the keepers on the post. But
He ain't paid you for them.
No. He said, I'll have your money in Vegas. I said, okay. I got my money yet.
That sounds like Luke Branquino.
It does.
That's a shyston son of a... Guys, do not do
business.
Don't listen to his show, the Luke Branquino show.
It's not near as cool.
Yeah.
He does it over Skype.
Yeah.
He doesn't even have people in person.
Yeah. It's Skype calls.
Yeah, he doesn't smoke.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's up with that little-
And he's fat.
What's up with that little dancing face?
Yeah, a little shake his butt dance. Yeah. Golly, Luke Branquino, what an idiot.
Yeah, so he's on my he's right now moved to my list
Yeah,
for the moment.
that's what
You owe my friend money.
you owe my friend money, Luke. Let's step it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna buy that bull. I wish you knew how much you want for him.
I think honestly I'll look and make sure. I think he gave $3,500 for him.
Yeah.
And he's not very old. He's
So you'll sell to me for 2,500.
well like 35.
Yeah. No,
I'll look on my messages because
You gonna be around next few days? Maybe I may. Yeah, he lives here. He does. You never know. He could be long haul trucking something. You never know with this rascal.
not right now.
Yeah,
Sold the Norris Dalton truck.
but you still got your
White one?
yeah.
Yeah. It's just not. Do what?
No, not the.
No, sold that. I got my Pete, the white Pete.
I forgot about that one.
But it's
You need the white Pete.
back. Yes,
Yeah.
I know. The Jerry, the mechanic over there, he worked on my dozer, got it going. So I took it to Hunter's and was clearing a bunch of stuff for him. And he said, man, I should have that white Pete put back together by the time you get back from Vegas. I was like, heck yeah.
Yeah.
So when I got back from Vegas, boy, I was pumped. I drove right by his house to come here, and that Pete's still sitting in the same spot it was in before I went to Vegas.
Dadgummit.
And I called him and I asked him, I said, and he's still working on the truck that was in the shop. And he said, man, I ain't had a whole lot of time. He said, I've been sick, and which he'll get to it. But the bad thing is it's tedious work he's got to do now, like the wiring.
Yeah.
Because he redid all the wiring clusters behind the dash.
Yeah.
Because that truck's a 85 model. And so I told him, I said, redo all that wiring behind the dash. Because, they're old and brittle and cracked and that. So, and we cut the sleeper, the hole, we made it bigger. Because them 359s, the sleeper set right behind your seat. You couldn't lean your seat back.
Right.
It was like driving a day cab.
Yeah.
It would hit. And so I said, cut the hole, make it a big hole in it so I can rock her way back in there. And he did that. We put another axle back under it. So it's back to a twin screw. And we stretched it.
Ooh.
So it's longer. And we redid the interior. It was black. Now it's all dark Brental cowhide. The dash is dark Brental cowhide. The doors are dark Brental cowhide. The ceiling, put new wood floor and he put that soundproofing stuff behind all of it. So it'll be quieter in there because that truck's so loud.
Yeah.
And LED lights in the gauges, all new lights in the gauges and all this stuff. Added another vent to go from the AC because in them old school ones, there's only 2 vents in them set right up on the dash. So he added another one into the dash that goes in the cluster.
Yeah. Dude.
Made my windshield wipers electric instead of air. Because have you ever messed with any air pressured windshield wipers?
No, I didn't really realize that was a thing.
Yeah, in them old semis it was. You just flipped the switch and it was off the air pressure. Dude, if the pressure's built up good, them are hauling balls across that windshield. And trying to get them stopped back where they're supposed to be, where you can see, is hard. And
you got to time it just
and then
right.
if like that truck, the damn the valve in it, the air valve was sticking in it, and I knew, so like it did it to me one time. I went and got a load of hay and I pulled in to get fuel, and I come back out, and it wasn't aired up enough to release the brakes.
Mm.
So I messed around inside and got it where it aired up so I could move it at least out of, and I parked it, pulled the hood up, and you have to take that whole deal apart. There's a valve with a spring in it.
Yeah.
And they'll get kind of gummed up.
Huh.
I got carb cleaner, lay all them little pieces out, clean it all off, put them back in. And so if the air pressure's not so good, then they're like, that's built up, them bastards. And he said, you want me to put electric wiper? Hell yeah.
Yeah. Let's get a little more consistency. Yeah, I got a guy for all that. I turn anything mechanical over to Kevin. I don't even attempt to pull something apart. Not anymore.
I wired that fuel tank up on the back of that Ford last night. I wired that trip hopper on that old Dodge yesterday.
Those are tricky.
Yeah.
Wait, like one on the bed?
Mm-hmm.
You put one on the bed?
Yeah.
Big 2,000 pound probably, huh?
I just put the 750 on there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because I got the overhead now. And you can still trip that bull feed out of it. Trips just like it does cake.
Right.
And so now, making it easier on old Jenny over there.
Yeah.
You can just back up under there, fill the hopper up on the truck, just drive around tripping it out.
Dang, you should have called me. I got one for sale. It's a 1,500 pounder, I think. No, it's back there wrapped in a tarp. I've used it like 4 times. So I just like getting out, like with my stuff's not as mean as yours, and I like using bags and getting out and walking around them.
Well, like that's why I got these pens built, but we've got so many bulls here, it takes a while to feed them all.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So like, and then the ones that are kicked out in the pastures, it'll be easier because they'll get used to that truck.
Mm-hmm.
Blow the horn when you go in there and feed. Well, then you can get them caught, just like a siren.
It's that clicker.
Yeah.
That clicker really makes them come running. Yeah. Hell yeah. Well, what are you doing today?
I have no idea.
The life of JB in retirement. I have no idea.
Well, Samantha's sending me what she thinks wrong with Jagger.
Oh, yeah, he got sick. Poor little man.
I think it was from him trying to eat crab legs with me.
Uh-oh. Jagger got the Vegas crud.
Samantha got it too.
Yeah.
They're not quite as healthy as I am.
They don't.
The virus is probably getting your body like, where the hell are we?
That's what everybody said. COVID, everybody's worried about COVID. And I said, hell, that get in my lungs and be like, hell with this.
Yeah. Yeah, cigarettes. They said cigarettes kind of affected COVID. Like people didn't get it. Smoked.
Yeah, it said they put a deal out on the news that said the people that drank alcohol and smoked cigarettes were less likely to get it. And I told everybody, I said, see, all you people telling me all these years, I was just preparing.
Yeah.
COVID ain't coming nowhere near my ass.
Did you ever get it?
I don't think so.
Yeah. I think if you got it, you would have known. That's how it was for most people. They knew. I know.
I mean, I could have had it one time, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Samantha may have got one of them home tests, but I felt like one day and then was back rolling.
Did you get vaccinated?
Hell no.
Really?
No.
I figured,
Samantha did.
I kind of.
Samantha's like, we need to go get vaccinated. I said, you have at it.
Yeah.
See, I prepared my body for anything to fight off.
Yeah. Monster and cigarettes.
Look at that smoke ring right there.
Oh, nice.
Did that without even just.
Can you blow a smoke ring?
I don't know. I hadn't tried in a long time.
You used to could, huh? Mm-hmm. Smoke rings in Bucktown. That sounds like a good name for a bull, smoke ring. Oop, there it was.
I used to be able to do it good. I hadn't.
There was one in there that was pretty smooth. Yeah. Well,
I'll get practice up for the next podcast.
when is the next Bucktown Buckout?
Whenever somebody calls.
Whenever somebody calls. Well, maybe we'll get on that bull when I buy him or something. Cameron's pretty hungry. He rode out of that white bull I got yesterday. That white one I brought here.
That spot's good.
Yeah.
Because you got enough kick. You still got to do stuff right. But
Yeah.
and he ain't mean.
Yeah.
He don't really fit my bulls.
He don't fit your, yeah.
My pen.
Yeah.
I like when I show up and unload, everybody gets real scared.
Did you buck him last time we were here?
I can't remember if I did. No, I don't think so. I think it was turned out, wasn't it? Roman.
We
did buck him?
When,
we
when
bucked
I
him
was here?
Yeah. Who?
Oh, no, I wasn't here when Willie got on him. But Roman. I'll
He did buck off Clay Guyton, now. He went out there. I told him, I said, you're going to go 2 or 3 and turn back left. And he rolled him into his hand and turned back and bucked him off.
Daggone.
But, I mean, he's good, though.
Yeah.
He make you ride like he's perfect practice because those 2 or 3 jumps, you got to ride like you're supposed to, front to back. Because he's going to kind of leap and kick over his head, but then he'll just turn back.
What advice would you give Kai right now as far as going to these PBRs?
Stay on.
But I'm saying, like,
Pays better.
Would you pace better when you stay on?
Yeah.
Do you think would you give a guy like that advice to maybe dip off to some pro rodeos?
The way it's set up now, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2009, I went to both.
Yeah.
I decided I wanted to rodeo some, so I'd go to rodeos during the week and bull riding's on the weekends. And last one I was at, I broke my collarbone right before Nashville, so quit going. And next year I bought my card back. Never got in a rodeo. They stacked me on top of bull ridings and said hell with it. And I wouldn't pay my turnout fines. And so then I had to pay my turnout fines when I bought it back in
21?
I bought it back in 2020, I guess.
COVID?
I started going to rodeos then, and because I knew I needed to get on a bunch of practice bulls, but I was old enough to where I didn't need to just do it here all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, might as well go rodeo and make money while I'm practicing too. So I bought it back in 2020.
Yeah.
And I had to pay all them fines off before they would give it back to me.
Yeah. How much were the fines?
I can't remember. It was, they added up pretty good bit. Like, you know.
You think 2,000 or 10,000?
No, it was more like 4 or 5 thousand.
Somewhere in the middle. 45.
And I liked it because, you know, like in 09, I was winning Fort Worth.
Yeah.
But I couldn't make the short round because I was in Florida at a PBR. And I was going to charter a plane to fly me from, you know, Florida to Fort Worth, but they were going to charge me $10,000. I was like, no.
Yeah, but that's a pretty cool buckle,
Yeah,
Donnie says.
If I could go back now, I'd have paid the $10,000 and went.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know what I had in the short round. When I told them no, I wasn't paying it. They could I can't remember who it was, called me and said, you coming to Fort Worth? I said, hell no, I can't make it. I'm in Florida. And they said, oh, you got a bull called Air up there. And he is a black molly face bull. And he would leap, hang in the air, about 3 foot in the air, just leap, crack them and turn back left and just hang.
Dang.
You'd be about 91 or 92 and feel like you ought to be 80 on him. Like leap and just hang up in the air. Look cool. Again, I was madder than hell.
Damn.
I was like, gosh.
Oh, maybe I can call that guy back.
But that was the only hard part then. But
Yeah.
then it was, you know, the bull ridings were all year long. Now
Right.
you got their, and which is going to be hard because they're pretty much every damn weekend till the finals.
On the team deal, right?
Well,
Or both of them?
both of them.
Is the break the same? Like the summer break?
No.
Is
They
there
have the finals in May. I think you get June off. And then the team deal start in July. There's really no downtime now.
So he may not. He probably won't.
So like the team finals are in November in Vegas. So you get part of November off because those bull riding started in, they're already going.
Yeah, Manchester's right now.
Yeah.
December 20th. Yeah.
So there's no downtime now.
Dang. Huh. Is this ain't the first one back though, huh?
No.
They've had
a
one.
few.
Yeah. I can't wait to watch him. See how he does.
But like in the team deals, he can put in his contract, hey, I'm only going to go to this, like if somebody picks him, he'll have it already wrote up, and you'll know if you pick him, these are the only, he's only going to be able to go to 3 events or whatever, because that's what Josh did.
Gotcha.
Yep. So if it was on top, like if one of them was on top of a big rodeo.
How does somebody, if somebody wants to be in the bull business and own bulls, you take care of them. You'll do that for people, won't you? Take care of their bulls.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what Bucktown's set up for.
Yeah.
For those of you out there.
I've had people send me bulls and work them.
You work them and
buck them.
Yeah. But pretty much any which way that, you can be a part of whatever. If somebody wants to get in the bull business, you can help them find the bulls.
Yeah, they can come buy all mine. I'll keep them right here. They just got to pay me.
Yep. Yeah. Again, everything at Bucktown is for sale.
Always.
Even the services.
Yeah. Yeah. Guy asked me, just depends on how many bulls somebody wants to send me. Clay Taylor, he does the same thing. People send him bulls, and he breaks it down a little more than I do. I asked him, I said, what do you charge people? Because when the first time somebody called me and asked me about sending me bulls, I didn't know what to charge them. I was like, hell, I don't know. And so I texted him and asked him, but he breaks it down to where, it's a flat rate every day for feed and everything. But then, if he bucks them, then that's extra, every time he bucks them. And what I did was I was just like, well, if you're going to send me 10 bulls, $25 a day per head.
And you'll buck them.
And I'll buck them and I'll feed them.
Make sure they're. How many times a month do you think is good for them kind of bulls? How many outs?
Just depends how wild they are. Some like that, a couple here that I had to hammer on their ass, because they were bad in the box. So every day we'd run them in there and jack with them. And then you give them a break, kind of let them, and then start it again. Just keep, and the more you're around them, the calmer they'll get.
Yeah.
Like that red Bramer I was talking about earlier was bad in the box. When he first got here, I didn't know Bart owned him. When we had the combine, Steve Vidusik brought bulls both days. And he's like, well, I got some young bulls that come from HD. I said, well, don't bring them to the second day. I don't want to kill nobody off the first day. And so he shows up the second day. Well, I loaded every bull. I was working the back pins, and that Bramer was one of them. He run off that trailer, and that tried to kill me.
Dang.
The whole time.
Yeah.
I was back there cussing Steve, and Bart never says a word. Bart's running my stripping chute.
Yeah.
Never says a word. It gets over with, and Steve was like, I don't know why you hollering at me about that bull. I said, well, you brought him here. I said, next time you bring one like this, I said, you come back here and load that. And he goes, I don't know why you're mad at me. I said, why? He goes, hell, he's Bart's bull. And Bart's just standing over looking away. I was like, well, then I called HD when I got the coaching job and the team deal started up. So I called HD and I didn't have a whole lot of bulls here. And I said, hey, send me some bulls for these boys to practice on. All right, I'll get them gathered up. So when I went to pick that ground load up at Barrett, I just stopped by HD's, picked up 15 head of bulls, and there's that red Bramer again. I'm like, oh, gosh. And so we get them here. Well, then Bart tells me, hey, if you send those bulls, HD's back to him, keep that Bramer. And there's another black bull that was in the set that's Bart's also, so I still got them here.
He's still here.
Oh yeah, the Bramer's here. He's standing a pin right out there.
Yeah.
The Bramer and the black's really good, and that Bramer can buck and buck hard, but he is a mean, just wild-eyed.
How do people? I mean, like, if it's something you serious doing, like, how would somebody get a hold of you? Instagram.
Yeah, contact Dale Brisby.
Yeah. Send an email to dalebrisby@gmail.
Or message Bucktown.
Oh, yeah, Bucktown Instagram.
That'd be my secretary, Randy.
Let Randy siphon through whether they're serious or not.
Unpaid agent, Randall.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way.
Everybody calls him to try to get to me. It's funny as hell.
Yeah. Is it because you think they're intimidated?
Yeah, they're scared to call me, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, and Randy's like, why do they always call me? I said, because you're a nice guy, Randy, and I'm not so nice.
Yeah.
And he's like, all of them. Like Yeti calls me. Hey, you think JB will do this? I don't know. Call him. Oh, well, yeah. I think it's great. I love it. I was like, damn, Randy, you're like my unpaid agent.
Back when I was fighting bulls, like, I would talk to Stace on the phone, and even still, like, Stace will call me at 2 a.m. Stace Smith.
Yeah.
And I was talking to somebody, and he was like, I have worked for that man for 25 years. I've talked to him on the phone one time. Something about, like, Stace and I, I talked to him last night. Like, what you want to know? But I could see how somebody would be intimidated by the cigarettes and the...
Well, I'm not as bad as everybody thinks I am. It's kind of like the bulls. There's not a lot of people that want to come here and get on bulls because they've heard the stories, all the mean hooking some of the guns I've got, and that's fine with me because it weeds out the weak-hearted ones.
Right.
If they're scared, they don't need to come here anyways.
Yeah.
And that's what I told somebody. They said they were wanting to get on practice bull. Oh, Tristan Hutchins.
Yeah.
He's like, if anybody's got some good, solid bulls, I would like to get on before the NFR. And I commented on it and said, come on. And there was so many comments on it, replies back to it. He said, gentle, nice bulls. Everybody thinks I've got just mean hooking some guns. So I messaged him and I was like, hey, I actually do have just some good bulls to get on that aren't mean.
Yeah.
Standing here, I said, just don't tell nobody I do.
Right. Did he come get on?
He didn't get on, but he came with some other boys. And
I
told him, I said, see, I do have good ones to get on. I just don't let anybody know it because I don't want everybody blowing up my damn phone wanting to get on.
Yeah.
So it kind of weeds through the weak-hearted ones.
There you go.
Are a little scared. They damn sure don't want to come here.
Yeah. Just get you a spoonful of concrete.
Yeah. That's what it was. I took some bulls into the Dublin sale barn one day, and some kid walked up there to me. He goes, did you bring those bulls in? I said, yeah. He goes, would they be good for practice? I said, depends on what you want to practice. He said, what do you mean? I said, if you want to practice shoot procedure, how fast you can get out of the buck and shoot, yes, that'd be good. If you want to practice how fast you can run away from them, that'd be great for that also. Riding, not so much.
Yeah.
But if you want to figure out how to really get out of the buck and shoot real fast, then these are perfect. And if
These
you want to hit the ground
you.
and run for your life, I'd buy them.
Yeah.
That's one thing. If they're bad in the box and they buck, they stay.
Yeah.
If they're bad in the box, buck and mean, they stay.
Right.
But if they're missing that bucking part, they leave.
Yeah. Well, now that I'm all pipe and no panels, I don't mind a little bit of that.
That's what we're getting ready to redo. The backside of those narrow runs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put those J bunks all the way down the backside, so
right.
Old Gennaro can just sit in old Dodge and trip it out all the way down.
You got
there.
it. You got it made in the shade, Gennaro.
I'm always scheming up ways to make things easier to feed.
Yeah.
That way he can do more weed eating and stuff like that.
We don't need you getting done feeding at 11 a.m. We need you done a lot quicker so you can get on a weed eater. Yeah.
And then that way, if he has to leave and go somewhere, it's not as hard on me either.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
There's reasons behind why I do everything.
Well, he kept everything. You still got your job, and Vegas has come and gone, so
I showed back up and I looked around. I said, well, nothing's dead. Good job.
Yeah. We had a dead horse when I got back. He was pretty old though. It's one of old Bar T horse, paper clip.
Who'd you leave to take care of him?
Cameron.
Oh yeah.
And Clay.
There you go.
They felt bad. I don't think it was their fault, but I haven't told them that yet.
It was their fault.
Yeah.
I'd always blame it on them.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah. It is your fault, Cam and Clay.
Yeah. Your job was to take care of the place.
Anybody out there got a hopper bucking horse, I'm in the market. So, especially when Jacob shows up and takes pick of the litter. But
man, just step them up. Let's buy some NFR horses.
I guess we can call.
I'm surprised.
A few of them have been to the NFL.
I'm surprised I didn't kill Donnie.
On what?
When he was first getting on broncs. When I'd show up and flank him.
Oh,
because you were like wanting me to flank him like I flanked those fighting bulls.
Yeah.
And I'm back there just laid back like we're at the NFR 10th round.
Yeah. He made it through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's good footage. That's what we're doing here.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
They both smashed the shit out of me.
Hey, that wasn't my part. That wasn't my fault. Yeah, I was not working the neck rope. I was on the flank.
We'll call Charlie Thompson and see if what kind of deal he can make us. And instead of the C bar T, it'll be JB bar DB.
I think we could change it.
Yeah.
Might have to put DB before JB
yeah.
on the bucking horses. That's more your department.
Yeah.
But I think we could turn the C into a DB and the T into the JB.
There you go.
Real easy like.
Just crudely add it on the brand. Get a running iron.
Yeah.
Get a running iron and draw it on there on all of them. This one went to bucking in the chute when we were branding him.
You did that one backwards.
My dad used to work for Charlie since he was 12 years old, so it'll come full circle. Yeah. Picked up for him. He'd go all over.
He said he was going to be around for about 4 days.
Yeah.
He off where he messaged me this morning.
I'm anxious to hear what he wants for him.
I told him he said, what are you looking for? I said, I'll just come see what you got for sale.
Yeah. We're going to need another partner, a silent partner. You won't get a brand on it.
Yeah, just silent.
We need you.
We just need your money.
We just need your money. Send a checkbook. That's what this whole podcast is for.
We prefer cash. Yeah. But a check will work. We can make it work.
We'll make it work.
Or credit card. With no limit, preferably.
How much rodeo time apparel do I have to buy?
It's kind of like when I took Dale to that first heifer auction at HD's.
Oh my gosh!
Looking through the catalog over there, what do you think they're going to bring? Well, some of them bring 40,000. What? We get there. He says, "I'm gonna buy that first one." They say that's always the cheapest one. I looked at this catalog. I looked at the sale list. Looked in the catalog. I said, "Okay, you buy that one. I'll partner with you." He's like, "All right, what'd you bid to?" Like,
jeez,
you hit her twice, and then the next thing you know, it's 20,000. He's like, I said, "How bad you want to be in the bull business?"
Which we did get we did end up spending some money, not 20,000, thankfully.
Yeah. Not for one.
Yeah,
well, we bought a few.
Yeah,
that's going to auction with me is good.
Yeah,
because I'm not going to spend a ton of money.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah.
If I see a good deal now.
That's what whenever I come get Roman. Well,
it's hard to forget his name because it's branded on his side.
Well, we got to brand JBDB on the other side.
It's just right. Well, we should have room because it's down his side.
Yeah,
Roman.
We
really fitting because his registered name is Roman.
Is
he's papered? The papers are behind Gennaro back there.
You got the chute for it too, huh? One of them big hydraulic rascals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, that chute's held up pretty good. It's the not so smart ones I've ran through it.
Yeah.
I did have one of HD's try to crawl out of it.
Oof.
Yeah, that one, he jumped out of my buck and shoot twice into the arena.
Golly.
And then we tied him in, and he got some ass. He went to hook at us, stuck his horn through the slat, popped his whole horn cap off.
Oh, that's one you had to take to the vet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So took him to the vet, and then we went to run him through just to check it and look at it. And he tried to, the crash gate that's on the front of that, he tried to jump out it.
Crash it.
Yeah, like one, he smoked it, and two, he got in there and tried to jump. Got his head wedged up between it and cut his head. We got him finally caught, and I didn't know how bad it was cut. And we looked, and it was like a flap. I could pick it up and lay it back down, and Hagen was like, "What do you do now?" And I grabbed that silver spray, wound spray. I went, psst, turn him back out. I called HD. I said, "I'm bringing him back."
Oh, he didn't work out?
Oh, he bucked. He was good. I mean, he's just, we never got to buck him with a rider, but he's just up and down around the left.
Yeah.
The first day we run him in the bucking shoots, run him in there, he was standing like a shot dog. Were you here then? Yeah. And he was standing like a shot dog in there. Well, I'd run something in the back and come back out the outgate. Hagen lays his rope on his back. And when his rope touched him, he backed up. And I mean, I'm walking to the buck and shoot, and he goes to jump, like just come up the top. Well, I was walking up there, I was going to pop him in the nose. And about halfway there, his nose went from being way up there to right in front of me. I was like,
dang.
And he was out. So then we run him back around, was going to run him back in there. We didn't even get the slide closed the second time, and he was already back in the arena.
Yeah. Dang.
So then we had, and if you notice now, my 90s, on the front of my 90 loads, they're sheeted on top.
Yep.
That's
because of him.
Because of him. I did have a 2-year-old jump to 90 though one day.
Yeah.
Because where that 90 is, that leads longer.
Uh-huh.
So if they stand back there, they can get them a little speed going. And then, so we sheeted the tops of them. We run it back in, had about 3 flanks tied across the top of him. So he couldn't jump out when we rolled him in there. And then he just got pissed and popped his whole horn cap off.
Golly.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, hey, he's coming back.
Yeah.
We dummied him one time, the only time we ever bucked him.
So but the shoot has made it a lot easier. Not for that bull.
It was still easy with that bull.
The hydraulic one, I mean.
Oh, yeah. It was still easy with that bull. He just, because that crash gate, them bulls get smart. So stand in the back of that chute. If you don't have that crash gate, they'll stand in the back of that chute and wait till you open it all the way up, and then they just blow through it.
Right.
And so that crash gate, you can open it, and I mean, they might run up there and hit it. You just wait till they back up and you catch them.
Yeah.
And then the only thing I did was it pinned, because it's reversible. You can pin it on either side and swing it from either direction. I can send them out either way. Yeah. So we added chains on, hooks and chains on it. So you don't have to pin it every time you open and shut it. You just chain it. And that makes it a lot faster. And then I put some pulleys on it, so you don't even have to step out there. Like I unchain it, and I reach and grab one handle that's hooked with pulleys, and it swings it open. You let them out, you grab the other pulley, swing it back shut, and hook the chain.
I was kind of investigating it whenever the booster seat gang came after me.
Yeah.
Jagger tried to hang me from it. Should have what?
Shouldn't have broke the stick.
Shouldn't have broke his stick. Oh, my gosh. He had this. It was his favorite stick. This sucker was 8 feet long. It was like real.
At that time.
Yeah, at that time. It was
they probably never played with that stick ever again. It's probably still laying out there.
He put it up to my face, and I bet I broke off an inch, and then just turned and kept talking like I didn't think nothing of it. And 30 seconds goes by, and I turn back, and Jagger's still sitting there, and he is shaking. He's so mad at me.
You better be glad he didn't hit you with it.
Oh, man, he was so mad. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Didn't even cross my mind. I should have known better, but.
He told me the other day he was going to rope me. I was standing there. He said, "I'm gonna rope you," and I said, "Huh?" And I turned like that, and he smacked me across the side of the face with that rope. I saw red.
Oh, I bet.
I grabbed him. I was like, "One, that's not roping.
Yeah.
You have to throw your rope to rope." Like,
That's whipping.
yeah. And I said, "Don't you ever hit me with a rope ever again."
Yeah. He's a well-behaved little rascal. Golly, babysitting him is so easy.
Can be.
Yeah, can be.
It can go the other way. It's kind of like me in Vegas. Either really good or really bad.
Yeah.
There's usually no in between.
I haven't experienced the bad part with him yet. I don't know. He was pretty good.
Ask the ones that watched him this year at Vegas.
Yeah.
We went through 2 one night. But he does better like Hagen. He calls Hagen Doodle.
Yeah.
And Hagen watched him one night because I had to go do something and it was going to be late. So he went to Hagen's room.
Yeah. Maybe it's guys.
It is.
Yeah.
He was fine. Fine with Hagen and them all night till we got back. But like, I don't know, like girls, he gets like, I don't know if it's because they're too sweet to him.
Maybe. Yeah.
And he just runs over them. Once he realizes they're going to be that nice, and then he just wide open, going to do whatever the hell he wants to.
I think that's all kids, though. Like, I think that's kind of a cliche that all kids it's when dad gets home.
Oh, yeah.
That they, get disciplined.
I seen something on, what was it, Instagram or Facebook or something. There was a deal that said mom versus dad, and it had kids, and one kid was in the refrigerator getting something. And she's like, "You don't need to get that." And she just looks. And then the dad was standing in the back. "Get the hell out of the refrigerator." And jumps and,
get the, I got it.
yeah.
I saw that same little video. Yeah, that's hilarious. I bet that's how it is at your house, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sort of.
Samantha she'll come down on him.
Oh, yeah. She'll get on him, but he don't care.
Yeah.
That's a bad thing. He's tough.
Yeah.
And like he is. It's weird. She can get on to him and it just makes him mad. I get on to him, it breaks his heart.
Oh,
like,
dang.
It just breaks down. Sometimes he just
rolls with it.
That flight or fight, it's all fighting that one. I told him, I'm like, "Man, you better be tough."
Do you see yourself in him? Is that where you think?
I wasn't quite as bad as that when I was little, but that's Samantha.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
And then
full-fledged.
I guess her parents can attest to it.
Oh, her sister does.
Yeah.
I call him SJ all the time, Samantha Jr.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Like he does things that like I would do.
Yeah.
But like a lot of it is her up one side and down the other. All the time I'm like, 2 peas, 1 pod right there.
The apple does not fall far from the tree.
I ask her all the time. I said, "Samantha, how's it feel?" "What? Arguing with a mirror?" She's like, "Shut up." I was like, "Yeah. Now you see how I feel. I have 2 of you." And it's funny because they're identical.
Yeah.
So when they get to arguing, it cracks me up.
Yeah. God, that's funny.
Oh, yeah. Rolling his eyes around. I'm
Right.
like, "God damn, that's Samantha right there." Because if you say something to Samantha and she'll just be like, I'm like,
What'd you get him for Christmas?
I don't know. Santa Claus brings it.
Oh, okay.
It's actually in Gennaro's house.
Yeah.
It's where my hideout is now.
Oh, you live at the trailer house?
Yeah, it's not a trailer house.
Modular.
No, that is a mobile mansion.
A mobile mansion. That's what I told.
Yeah.
You call what? The burrito?
The burrito.
The burrito. Nice and warm. Like it wrapped in a warm
Filled up
tortilla.
Filled up the propane. Relit the pilot for you. You didn't even know he was there, did you? Did you know he went down there? Yeah, we were working up here because I called Samantha. He said, I think the propane went out because the heat's not kicking on. I was like, probably. Because before he moved in there, nobody was in it. So we put like 100 gallons in it. It's a great big ass propane tank back there. So we just put some in it so it'd have it in it, and it ran. He said, I think it, and so I texted Samantha. I said, call him and tell him to go fill it up. Well, do you want to just put, I said, fill the whole damn thing up like it's wintertime.
Yeah.
I don't want Gennaro to freeze. And, and so like it's funny because when it goes out, the pilot light will go out.
Yeah.
And it's a pain in the ass. Yeah. The way it's set, like you got to use a holder, stick a match in the end of the holder, like a rod, light it, and then try to get it back in there to it without it blowing out. Like you should have seen one day when I was trying to do it myself. Yeah. It was not good. Like there was like 83 burnt matches laying on the floor, and I'm gonna get it.
About to put some gasoline on a match.
I'm about to
Yeah.
Blow the gas in there, and finally I couldn't get it lit.
Yeah.
Because the way that blows in there, it blow it out before it light. I was like, hell with it. I'll just let the professionals do that. Yeah. They come filled it up and they'll light. And so like he'll fill it up, go inside, light it, and leave.
Yeah. That's how I do it. Yeah. I'm not gonna lighting a pilot. Let me call somebody. Yeah. I'm just all I'm here for is riding bulls. You know what I mean? That's how I got this big old buckle.
I like to live on the dangerous side, see if we can blow something up.
Yeah.
Samantha, you may want to take Jagger and go to the barns. Not sure if this is going to blow up or not, but we're going to try it.
Yeah, I'll come back in a few days.
We had us a brush fire one time down there, a bunch of old. And the people before me that bought this place left random laying everywhere. And I'm not real sure what kind of tank it was.
No.
But I'm pretty sure it's pressurized. And I was like, well, throw that tank in there. Because I said, I'll just burn everything and bury it. Well, when it got hot, it started going, it sounded like a damn jet getting ready to take off. I was like, whoosh. We all took off running, was behind trucks watching.
Did it blow up?
It never blew up.
Oh, man.
But gosh dang, it sounded like this was getting ready to take off.
Golly. Yeah, like that's what happened to us on the Netflix show.
Yeah.
Boom. Yeah. There was a hole. It was about the size of this room and maybe half as, maybe 4 foot deep. And so we pushed all this brush into it, and then it was piled up on top of it. And they were like, we want y'all to just have this conversation while you're pouring the gas. Well, I had like 25 gallons. And so we were talking, and they were like, well, let me get over here so I can film Cheech saying, and so they got over there. We ended up going through 25 gallons. And it went down. It went down into that hole, and them fumes. Well, then they had to set the cameras up, and we got, thank the Lord. They were like, let's throw these road flares. And so we got, 15 feet away, and we all lit them. Well, by the time we got the camera set up, it was 30 minutes. So all
soaked and good and fumed up.
We threw them road flares, and it was a little delay, whew, and then went boom. And it was like in 2 minutes, there was 7 911 calls from the town. That was the beginning of my bad reputation. Like the Kid Rock song.
I met a guy that works for the forestry department right after I moved here. Evidently, there was a burn ban.
Oh, dang. That's how you met him. Did he let you let it go, or did he put it out?
Yeah, when I bought this place, there was a blade of grass on it in sight. Because Dave had 500 head of shit on here.
Yeah.
And it was in the silage pit.
Yeah.
The silage pit was probably 25 foot deep anyways. Well, then I took a big excavator, dug a hole out as deep as I could get it in the corner of it.
Uh-huh.
and then put all that stuff in it.
Yeah.
Me and Billy Saunders had a case of beer.
Oh, backpin Bill.
We lit it, and you couldn't get any closer than like 50 foot from this thing. It was so hot.
Yeah.
And the flame was coming up out of the ground.
Ooh.
Up over the silage. But I mean, there wasn't nothing for it to catch on fire.
Yeah.
And so Samantha calls me and she said, "Hey, the fire department's on their way." I said, "For what?" "Well, I guess there's a burn ban." I said, "What am I going to burn, these rocks?" I said, "Hell, if I got to burn these rocks, I'd have set it on fire the first day I bought it."
Yeah.
The first day I got here. And well, our neighbor was just telling us, and I was like, "Well, tell him to mind his own damn business." And she said, "Well, he's standing right here." I said, "I don't care." She said, "You're on speakerphone." I was like,
ooh.
I said, "Well, come on up here. Like, you show me what I'm going to catch on fire." And so he drove up there, and he drove out in the pasture, and me and Billy sitting up there, got a case of beer, drinking beer, watching this fire. And I said, "You want beer?" He's like, "No, I don't drink." I was like, "Oh, this is starting off great. We're going to be great neighbors." I was like, "Gosh, dang." And he's like, "Well, you're right. There is nothing it can catch." I was like, "Yeah, no shit. I burned brush my whole life."
Yeah.
In North Carolina, where there's trees everywhere you turn.
Right.
And so he called them and told them not to come, and everything was good. Well, that's when it snowed so bad.
Oh.
And that year, that's
yeah.
the end of that year. So I guarantee you, because he was like a bloodhound. Like, he sniffed that smoke out now.
Right.
And I lit every pile of brush on fire around this place.
After that snow came
when
in.
it snowed,
Yeah.
that's all we did. Cleared out, piled up, was burning brush all the time.
Right.
I was like, I guarantee you that guy sitting up there on his porch.
That Mauney again. He strikes again.
It's boys down there burning brush.
Burning brush at Bucktown.
I'm kind of a pyro. I like burning.
I'm the opposite, man. Somebody lights a match at my house, we call the fire department. I got to burn it. I got a brush pile right now I need to burn, but I usually, I don't know. The fire department's like half a mile away, so.
Gennaro, he got to see it the other day for the first time. I had all kinds of piled up.
What'd you burn?
Just brush.
Yeah.
And he got to see it. I had her lit up pretty fast, like
yeah.
He could see the flame all the way up here at the barn.
Yeah.
And I was in the bottom down there. It was rolling. He come down there, and I had to back the skid loader up. Like, it was getting so hot. I was like, gosh, damn, it's hot. I was about to start sweating sitting there.
That's how my dad was growing up. Yeah. We managed this place, and there's this one pasture. It's on a hill, and it was all grass and had some weeds pretty bad. And I bet this one pasture was maybe 200 acres on a hill, and we lived in a little creek bed. And so that hill run up behind us, and I came home from school, and I topped the hill, and I saw the opposite side of that creek bed, and this 200 acres was on, and I was probably 3 miles away from it, but you could see flames. God, they had to be 40 feet in the air. And, well, I called the fire department, and I knew the guy up there. He's like, "Yeah, that's your dad." And so I raced out there, went to and pulled up, and he's burning this field by himself. And I pull up, and he's standing there leaning against a shovel. He's like, "How was football?" I was like, "What are you talking about? How are there not 19 fire trucks out here?" And apparently he had like backburned it enough and knew, what you could, he knew that math, and I did not. But
yeah, when I lived in North Carolina, I met the fire marshal there. That did not go as good as.
They weren't as forgiving as Texas.
No, I had my burn permit for limbs and twigs and things, but I was burning whole trees.
Uh-oh.
And I lit it up. The problem was I lived off that 4-lane.
Yep.
And it was a big one. And I lit it up right at dark. And I was out there the whole time on the skid loader. But I would go around, pushing the sides in. Well, after I get done pushing the sides in, I'd back it up and cut it off.
Yeah.
Well, the lights, nothing was on, so people going down that 4-lane, nosy-ass people, would see it burning, and it looked like there was nobody out there.
Right.
And so they called the fire department. Next thing I know, here come fire trucks rolling in. I'm sitting in the skid loader there. And the lights hit the skid loader, and I step out, and he's like, "Oh, you're out here?" I said, "Yeah, I've been out here the whole time." He's like, "Oh, we'll just call it and say you're out here. You got it." I was like, "All right." And the other one's like, "No, fire marshal's already on his way." I was like, "Oh, great." He gets there and gets out, and like he shrank when he got out of the truck. Like he wasn't about that tall. And I was looking down at him. He's standing there, and he said, "I'm such fire marshal." I said, "JB, nice to meet you." He said, "You got your burn permit?" I said, "Sure do." And he said, "Do you think you can contain that big of a fire with just that skid loader?" I said, "Pretty sure I can." He said, "How you know?" I said, "Well, how the hell do you think I got it piled up there with that skid loader?"
Yeah.
And he walks around. He said, "You're going to set that thicket over there." There was a thicket right past my place that was owned by the county. He said, "You're going to set that thicket on fire." I said, "We could only hope so." But I was like, "You're crazy. Like, there's no way it's going to go over there. You're going to have to dig a barrier out around it." He made me get in that skid loader and dig a break all the way around that pit. And it was in my pasture. It made me madder than hell. So I dug around it. Well, it got to about 2:30 in the morning, 3 o'clock, and JB was getting pretty tired, and this thing was still rolling pretty good.
Yeah.
So I kind of let it die down, you know. I went inside, go to sleep for a little while. And I guess it was about 6:30 or so. I got up, walked to the kitchen to get me something to drink, and I was walking back, and I look out the window, and that wind had picked up. And this thing was rolling, and it was blowing right towards that thicket. I was like, "Oh." I jumped in that skid loader, run out there. I was pushing around. I said, "Man, if it catches that thicket on fire, I'm not going to
Never going to hear the end of it.
That was the little one, though. I set a bigger one on in the back. We ain't see it.
They didn't see it.
No. We put a propane tank in it and shot it.
Oh, dang.
It blowed.
Did it just blow up, or was there flames with it?
Just blew up.
Yeah.
There wasn't very much propane in it.
Yeah.
It was empty, almost empty. But
what caliber did it take to go through that tank?
I think I shot it with a 22 mag, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Not bad.
Then I set another one. A buddy of mine was over there, same place. You know, when you pulled in, the house set right here was in that pasture over here beside it.
Right.
And it was right at dark again. We burned that brush. Well, I may or may not have had a few extra tires laying around I needed to dispose of.
Uh-oh.
So it was getting pretty dark. Well, I threw them off in there. I've never in my life seen smoke do this.
Yeah.
Especially when you throw tires off in it. And it's black as it goes up and straight across that 4-lane.
Dang.
I mean, straight, dead right across. People were stopping. They couldn't see through it.
Oh, man.
I'm standing in that pasture. Of course, me and that guys were drinking beer. And people started stopping, and he's like, "What do we do?" I was like, "Just wave." We're just out there waving at them. Nobody called the fire department, nothing. I was like, "Oh,
thank
God." But I'd never seen, like, smoke do that.
Yeah.
Like, it went up about 20 foot, and then, I mean, just
beelined it.
Straight right across that 4-lane. I was like, "Oh."
Oh, damn the luck. I just like to tip them. I'll tip them, you know. Well, ours is volunteer fire department, so, like, you know, they need donations.
You know, I like to do illegal stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
You know,
there's that.
The way I figured it, I bought this place. It's mine. I can do what I damn want to with it.
Agreed.
So I'm real bad about, Samantha's always like, "Well, why are you doing this?" Because. Well, because why? She's a very detail-oriented person.
Right.
I'm not so much.
Yeah, right.
I feel like if it's mine, I don't have to explain myself to anybody.
Yeah.
And so I'll tell Janara, "Hey, we're burning brush. Let's go." Like, I make sure the wind ain't blowing like hell and like that. Ain't like out here. It's different because it gets so dry. But
I just got a skid steer with a little grapple on it for the first time, and I went to work, and so my brush pile has gotten big because it is addicting.
Oh yeah.
You don't have any more out here to get though, do you? Brush.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you do?
Oh yeah.
Off on that corner, I guess, and maybe that backside.
Yeah, back in here, I cleared like behind the mobile mansion.
Yeah.
I cleared some of it out, but there's like half of it we didn't get to. We cleared half of it out. So and now the grass is green in there, grows real good. But before it was thick, dead trees, nothing would grow in it. There's another part I just like all the dead. I need to knock down all the dead.
Yeah.
Pile it all up.
It's addicting, man. You can look up and be in that thing 4 hours, not realize it.
Oh, man.
I bet you longer than that because you don't eat lunch.
True. Yep. Yeah. It's real nice. Kubota, when they hook you up.
Oh, man. Bam. Must be nice.
Got grapple buckets, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, you got every kind of machinery they got.
Mini X.
You and Cowboy Cerrone.
They sent me 2 side-by-sides this time.
Oh, nice.
They swapped everything. And the one's got a long bed on it. Old Gennaro can fit 3 of those 3-strand square bells in that thing.
Dang.
And the sides fold down.
Make a little flatbed.
Yep. Makes a flatbed, so he just lays one side down and you can drive back through there and flake it off and throw it.
Dang.
It's real nice. And it's a hydraulic bed also, so it dumps hydraulically.
Only the nicest at Bucktown.
You know.
Yeah. No, I just got the skid steer and some Can-Ams.
I got a couple Can-Am 4-wheelers.
Yeah.
Yep. That's the only thing I couldn't, Kubota, and they said they were fine with the 4-wheelers. If we did a deal with Can-Am with the 4-wheelers, that was fine. But nothing side-by-side wise.
They make good 4-wheelers too.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I've run into quite a few cows with them and stuff. They're still crank right up. May or may not be missing 1 or 2 pieces of plastic in occasional spots.
Yeah. That's all aesthetics anyway.
Yeah, I'm pretty hard, but drag the arena good with my drag. Clicker in 4-wheel drive, don't matter.
That's one of the, we feed with them every morning, but then, we got to drag that arena. I need a bigger drag this time, though.
We do a lot of pinning on the 4-wheelers.
Yeah.
Because I don't really schedule things out very good.
Right.
Like if I wake up in that morning and think, all right, I'm going to buck these bulls today. And I get over here, Gennaro's like, so what we going to do? Well, we got to go pin these bulls. And so it's just easier to jump on them 4-wheelers, run out there and pin them than saddle horses and all that.
Right.
And so we use 4-wheelers a lot. Like if I've got it scheduled out, we're supposed to buck bulls, like I'll have a horse saddled and I'll move them in them pins and pin them horseback and all that. But a lot of times I don't really know my day's plan till that day.
Yeah.
I always like it when people ask, hey, what are you doing January 28th? I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow. So
that's kind of how you have to catch it with JB. Yeah. Like, are you free this afternoon?
Yeah. Like you text me yesterday evening. Are you free tomorrow?
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Yeah, that's it's hard to agree to something 6 months in advance.
No, I can't. Yeah, JB, could you come to a bull riding in
such and
September of 2025? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, why not? Because my planners only goes like
24 hours.
Yeah. I forget a lot of stuff. Like Dash has figured out, he always reminds me about things like interviews and stuff. He'll always text me, hey, interview 15 minutes. I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was, when California FFA wanted you out there, they're like, do you think you'll get on a mechanical bull? I said no. Because you had just come off of that. You had just come off of breaking your neck, and Cole was like, that's just the headline we need. JB Mauney
dies
in California, in Sacramento, California.
That would be my damn luck, too.
Yeah.
After retire from riding bulls, get on a mechanical bull, they throw me off and land on my head and kill me.
Well, it was pretty funny because their director's name is Mauney, Hugh Mauney.
Hugh Mauney?
And so they were like,
my cousin.
They were going to say, we're going to have Mr. Mauney ride a bull here, and everybody was going to just know they meant Hugh Mauney, get on this, and then they were going to play bad to the bone, and you show up. So it was a really good idea.
It was a great idea.
And
unfortunately, it's...
well, you were like, yeah, we made it work, and you were like, yeah, I'll be there March such and such. And then, like, I told him, I was like, but you never know. Something could come up. And sure enough, about 2 weeks out, that you Well, that was when you, I think, agreed to do the bull team deal. Or the teams, you know, when you were going to be a coach and you had to fly somewhere.
That was the draft, I think.
Maybe it was the draft. Yeah, because it would have been in the spring. And anyways, it didn't work out. But again, it's hard for you to agree to do something that far out.
It is. I'm doing good day by day.
Yeah. But shout out
what you got going on tomorrow? Not sure. Today's not over.
Yeah.
I know he's okay, everybody.
He's okay. Yeah. Shout out to FFA. If you're not an FFA, kids, you ain't no cowboy.
I've thought about calling Tandy and asking him if I could get by with one of those braces like Tough used to wear.
Oh, yeah? Maybe that would help.
But I don't know if it would.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he pretty much told me if I landed on my head again, I'd probably snap my neck above or below where they fixed. Below, wheelchair. Above, dead.
Oh, that's how it goes.
Yeah. He said, it's not 100%, but it's about 98.9. I was like, oh, well, it's 100% I'm going to land on my head.
Yeah. That's pretty easy, man. That's a pretty easy call. But like I think you told Randy, it had to be that way.
Oh, yeah. That's what, when he said surgery went good, now your occupation. I was like, what about it? And that's when he said, well, if you land on your head, you'll snap it above or below, you know, where we fix. I said, well, I'm listening. He said, below, wheelchair rest of your life. Above, you're dead. I was like, oh, thanks. Those are great odds. Thank you. Appreciate you. Yeah.
That's the 50-50.
Doesn't get any better?
Yeah. 50-50 chance. 150 is death. The other 50 is wheelchair.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then and when you're talking about the neck, that means your arms don't work either.
Well, that's what they told me. They said I was a millimeter away from being paraplegic.
Paraplegic. Oh.
Because Jagger was asking, he got to ask me about it because he found my neck braces in the under the sink in the bathroom or something, and he had it out. And I told him, I said, man, you don't play with crap like that. And he said, why? I said, that's bad luck. And he said, why? You know, he's little. He don't understand. I said, that's bad luck. He said, why? I said, did you break your neck? No. I said, then you don't play like that.
Yeah.
I said, it's like playing with crutches. You don't do it.
Right.
Like, that's just asking for it.
Right.
And he's like, well, when you broke your neck, and he got to talking about it, and I said, well, I know you don't know what a millimeter is. And he's like, I said, let me find a tape measure. And I showed him that little mark. And he said, yeah. I said, you see from that mark to that mark? He said, yeah. I said, that's about a millimeter. That little? I said, yeah. I said, that's how close I was being from nothing from here down working.
Golly.
He was like, oh.
Terrifying, man.
Yeah.
It's a crazy game, rodeo, bull riding.
A game of millimeters. I used to say a game of inches, but I guess millimeters.
Right.
1 millimeter.
Do you think?
I probably wouldn't have been a very good paraplegic, though.
No. Yeah, I don't know that any of us would be. You're a pretty active person.
Yeah. Like Jerome, he handled being in that wheelchair better than any person I could think of.
I look up to him for that.
Yeah, because he acted like none ever even happened. Like, we'd have to pick him up, put him in the skid loader, but like that's not going to work all day. Tractor, skid loader, drive them trucks. He's got the hand brakes and stuff in it. Keeps on rolling like there's no tomorrow. And I was like, yeah, I probably wouldn't have. I would have probably been a miserable person to be around.
Yeah, God definitely spared you there, didn't he?
Yeah.
Thank the Lord. How often do you think about that, the millimeter?
Every time. About right after I think it'd be a good time to get on another one.
That's a good time for it to come up.
Man, I just want to get on one more. I'll be all right.
Millimeter.
You're a millimeter away from being. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
I'll just talk about it.
If it had been like something like, if there was any hope of you coming back, do you think you could get it out of your mind to ride a bull?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I think
so
so too.
if I would go to Tandy and some miraculously happened and he said I could go back to riding, and if I landed on my head, it wasn't going to kill me or do that,
Yeah.
I'd be right back at it.
Without that injury, how many more years you think you might have tried to ride?
Till something like that would happen.
Yeah.
I would have never quit.
Yeah.
I was having way too much fun, and I told somebody the other day, I said, a lot of people retire because they miss their kids growing up because they travel so much. I said, I was the opposite side of the coin. I said, mine went everywhere with me.
Yeah.
So I wasn't missing anything. They were right there beside me, so there wasn't no reason for me to quit. I said I was still riding and winning and doing good. Yeah, I didn't recover quite as fast as I used to. Didn't bounce quite as good. But hell, I felt like I was still riding just as good as I ever have.
It was just, I don't want to use the word inevitable at all, but like there's some guys that maybe slow down on the caliber of bulls they might be trying to get on.
Yeah.
But weren't you 36 when it happened?
Mm-hmm.
So like you're riding that caliber of
35.
bulls. You were 35 when it happened. But
No, I was 36
yeah.
because I'm about to be 38.
But that's a pretty high level of bull to be getting on, even at that. You know, it's not like you tapered off and went to some Ammies or something. You were still getting on those kind of bulls.
Yeah. And the best part was right before it happened, Kai was headed to Ellensburg and I was headed to Fowler, Idaho, I think.
Yeah.
And I jumped in with Corey Kidd and some of them guys that roped, just caught a ride because they were going down there and then driving back to Ellensburg. And Kai said, "Where you headed?" I said, "Fowler." I said, "Where you headed?" He said, "Ellensburg." He said, Kai said, "Oh, you going down there to win third, I guess." I said, "Why?" He goes, "Well, I'm winning second." I said, "Oh, all right." And I think I was 89 or I beat him.
Yeah.
And I caught him that night. And I was like, "No, evidently you went down there to win third." And that was about a week or two before I broke my neck. Because I was with Kai and Stetson when I broke my neck.
Yeah.
I rode with him from Ellensburg to Lewiston.
And Samantha had stayed with the rig.
Ellensburg.
Yeah.
RV. That's why Hollywood helped them pack it up.
Yeah.
To drive to Lewiston.
Dang.
Yeah. I went down there with Kai and Stetson, and I did not return with Kai and Stetson.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. That's what I show everybody in my phone because I had a filter on Kai or something when he was driving, and I took a picture of him. And I said, "Hey, yep, that's how Lewiston started." And then you go to the right on my camera roll, and it's me in the neck brace in the hospital. And I said, "This is how Lewiston ended."
Yeah. Dang. Yeah. Was there any version of you that you think would have like dipped off and really like gone to Ammies, or do you think it would have been just like all or nothing?
No, if I wasn't going to pro rodeos, I would have quit. Right now, we're gonna have to take a break.
That's what I was wondering when it was coming.
Life advice: hire a Gennaro, makes everything easier.
Yeah.
I'm not near as stressed now that Gennaro works here.
Really?
Yes. Well, the main thing is because he's not dumb.
Yeah.
That helps out.
That helps
a lot.
Yeah.
And he's pretty bull savvy also. So.
Are you? How old are you, Gennaro? 24? You are aging so well. I was going to peg you for 19.
Yeah, you got to watch old Jenny, though, in the evenings.
Why's that?
He like to drink him a little bit of the beer when he's feeding, and occasionally one falls out the side by side.
Well, it's a good thing he lives on the property.
That's what I told him the other day. I was jacking with him, messing with him. I was like, "I'm going to start tying a trash bag to your side." That's what I'm going to get him, like a little, just a hang on his belt. Throw his beer cans in it.
Oh, yeah. Life advice, hire a Gennaro. Life advice from Dale Brisby is
just message him on Instagram. He can find you. You're not getting him. Just message him. I'm sure he's got friends.
I'm sure he's got friends. I don't let him show up out here, but I'm sure he's got them.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got them.
Well, my life advice would be to sack up. That's what I learned out here.
Spoonful of concrete.
Drink a spoonful of concrete every morning. Sack up.
Harden up.
Harden the F up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool.
Is that your keychain or your knife?
Oh, that's a knife.
Oh.
I ran out of leather. I put paracord on it. I've had this knife for like 6 years. Bucktown. Everything around here is personalized. Even his knife says Bucktown.
They added the cross on. I don't know why.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a whole nother
I ordered
podcast.
them with just Bucktown on it. And all of them came with the cross on it.
Do you think maybe they were trying to suggest something to you?
I'm thinking that.
What was it, Case?
Yeah.
Or you got them from Case?
Case.
We'd like for JB to be reminded of his relationship with the Lord.
As I'm cutting something.
Yeah. I'm going to remind you to pray. You pray before you get on bulls?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Pray every night when I go to sleep. Jagger says it with me.
Oh, he does?
Mm-hmm. I'm not religious, but
yeah,
I know.
You know who you're talking to.
Yeah. That's what somebody was talking about, bull riding and God's will and all this and that. And I said, that's a bunch of crock. And they said, what? I said, yes. I know he's the one that gave me the ability to do this, but what I did with the ability was on my shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
I said, he's not just going to give it to you and you don't work at it and you're world champion. That's not how this works.
Yeah.
I said, it gives you the ability, but what you do with it is on your shoulders.
Yeah, he's not going to ride the bull for you.
No. And that's why they were kind of making it out like they didn't need to get on practice bulls. And if it's God's will, then they'll do
Yeah,
that.
I disagree with that.
And I'm like, no, that's not how this works.
Right, I agree. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like the Bible says that God takes care of the birds, how much more does he care about us? And my dad had said, well, yeah, even the bird leaves the nest to go get the food. The bird built the nest. The bird, God's going to provide him an opportunity, but it's still up to the bird does work.
Yeah.
So, no, I agree with that 100%.
Yeah. I prayed before. Everybody thinks I'm all rough and tough, but I just didn't show it like some people.
Yeah.
Wasn't none of their business.
Well, also, there's a realness about you that is behind closed doors and in front of the closed. Like you are the same person no matter where you are all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And occasionally there are people in our walks of life and in our faith that they're really just more Christian whenever a camera is on
or somebody's watching.
And you're the same guy all the time.
I like to refer to those as hypocristians.
Yeah.
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 I've met a lot of two-faced people.
Yeah. No, we've talked about that. I don't know. I've talked to a few people. It's funny that we're bringing this up. Just in this last week, I've talked to 2 individuals, and they are, they've got the image of being a partier, and I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about other people, but they're just as real behind closed doors as they are in front of them, and they've got this reputation. When all reality, I think God looks at them just the exact same as He does everyone else.
Oh yeah.
Some people just hide it better.
Yeah. I drank beer. I did what I wanted to. I mean, there was probably things I did I shouldn't have, but I know right from wrong.
Yeah.
But that's on my shoulders, nobody else's.
Yeah. Straight from JB Mauney, folks. We're on to the next one. I'll be back in a couple days. It might be right after Christmas or something, but I'll come back and get old Roman. That'll be fun. Maybe buck him first. See how he bucks.
Just let me know, because I'll have to pin him and get the grass belly off of him.
I would say...
I noticed him out there the other day. He's kind of bellied up. Looks like he's I had him a round bell.
I would say, how does December 29th or 30th work? But how about I just text you the day before?
That'll work.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening in. I'm Dale Brisby. We're at Bucktown, and we're on to the next one now, old son. Ever since I started riding bulls and punching fools, I've been wearing an American hat because I'm an American. I actually wore a different hat before that for the longest, but then my mom got a job. So wear an American hat, old son. Otherwise, you ain't no cowboy. RodeoTime.com is the only website that should exist because it's the greatest apparel line that has ever existed. So go there now to get a t-shirt, a hoodie, a cap, a vest, whatever it is you need. Go to RodeoTime.com, old son.